Listen to him trying to like sound. Listen to him trying to like sound like he's a Japanese samurai. 건설자이십니다. 백전백승 조선노동당의 강대국과 국민의 영원한 위대한 김일성 동지와 위대한 김정일 동지의 숭고한 결의와 전당 자들이 온갖 위협과 온갖 징벌통을 접해가 민족 총지. If I had 100 people, I don't care if they're black or white, and by the way, this has pretty much happened before back when I was a teenager. I mean, I've been in a fight with like 15 guys before, and I mean, I blacked out. It was the greatest pleasure of my life. I mean, I'm going to just be honest. I literally put like 10 people in the hospital. And that's on record, true, in Rockwall, Texas. You can ask anybody about me there. And the police came and like had me sent to the hospital, and they said, we think he's on PCP. But there was no drugs in me. It was an absolute pleasure to have 15 members of the football team try to kick my butt. And I beat the living hell out of them. And by the way, they were black and white. I'll go ahead and tell the story since I'm telling this. This is a true story. This guy was beating up my girlfriend's little brother. I told him to stop, so he punched me in the nose. So I broke his nose, and he had to have nose surgery. And I was a freshman in high school. And then his older cousin, who was a senior and a football star, came into about a month later into the cafeteria while I'm sitting there and slammed my head into the plate of food. I got up and beat the daylights out of him. So 2 more football players came over, and I just devastated them. And then a couple more came, and I turned towards the entire bleachers. I shouldn't even be telling the story. And I went, ah! And I charged and ran and just started savaging those people. And I'm telling you, I got so mad that the boot heels came off because about 10 people were on top of me, and I just savagely exploded. Blood vessels broke in my eyes, and I was just like, every punch was just like, it was the greatest drug in the world. I can't imagine the ancients and those swords and those huge battles, just for hours, I could just feel it. Ah! And I'd see about 100 people want to charge me. I'm telling you, I would just love it. Because that's when you can really live, is when you're outnumbered like that. Excuse me, I shouldn't even be telling these stories. That's a true story. Everyone, yeah, this guy's crazy. One time he beat up like 20 people on PCP. I've never seen PCP. It's called opening a can of whoop ass, ladies and gentlemen. That's what it's called. All right, I shouldn't. It's really terrible to tell that story. But I told the story, and it's true. Actually, I'm joking. MSNBC, it's all a joke. None of it's true. None of it happened. Oh, boy. I'm sorry. People tune in because sometimes I get a little crazy on air. I'm just imagining me or my family. That's why I'm going to hate getting old, though, because I am 40. And I guarantee you I would probably throw my arms out of sockets and everything else if I tried to do something like that today or have a heart attack. But that's what guns are for. I shouldn't even be telling those stories. That's actually a true story. I say it was probably more like 20 people. I mean, it was a lot. It was a lot. And when the cops showed up, they didn't even do anything. They were just like, what the? Seriously, that actually happened. And then, I'll just go ahead and tell the rest of the story while we're at it. The city wanted me psychologically evaluated. And my dad said, I know my son's not crazy. Send him to whoever you want. I went, and they had that famous psychiatrist, Dr. Death, the guy that would tell whether somebody was crazy or not for death row in Texas. He sat there and did the analysis on me. People have you ever been to a psychologist, Alex? Yeah, I went to Dr. Death a few times when I was about 14 because the police wanted to know, how can he do this? That's the true story. Well, the truth is you just black out, folks. I mean, the thing is, I never started any fights. And then the problem was I wasn't even that big, so then everybody said, well, I can beat this guy up. And that's why I was in probably 200 fights. But about 75 of those, though, were when I was like 10, 11, 12 years old. But 120 plus real fights. And been in the hospital, had a compound fracture. I've had the whole 9 yards, folks. So I don't recommend fighting. I don't think it's a good thing. And I don't know why I've gone into this big braggadocious storytelling. I've never told that story on air. Probably shouldn't have told that. But there, now you know a real chapter, Alex Jones. And believe me, there's a lot more where that came from. And I think I'm just going to shut up today and not tell any more of it. We're going to come back. Let's go just in order that they were received. Eric in North Carolina who disagrees, you're on the air.
Hey, Alex. I'm actually a pretty big fan. Agree with a lot of what you say, but there's one subject you're consistently dead wrong on, and that's your defense of Stephen Hatfield. I can promise you he mailed the anthrax letters. I'm the man that caught him. I gave Agent Eric Davis at the Charlotte FBI Stephen Hatfield's last name, which I read off his Army jacket as he stalked my house out here in the middle of nowhere, North Carolina, 7 months before Stephen Hatfield became a TV household name.
Well, sir, you need to, obviously, I'm not omnipresent and don't know everything. I know that quite a few patsies got charged, just like Richard Jewell was a patsy for, the bombing at Olympic Park. And I know that they killed the last patsy. And the media did, when they said he committed suicide, they didn't even point out he was in federal custody when he supposedly took the prescription Tylenol. So I would love for you to send me a letter with this written up with your credentials and what your proof is, and I would love to see that information.
But on the air, but I never got any kind of response. I know you guys probably get flooded with emails. I would be glad to send you my stuff. I have FOIA requests that I have had answered. I still, actually, I'll be totally honest with you, because it was covered up by Special Agent Jim Page and Agent Eric Davis, I still have anthrax that was mailed to me. And anybody out there on your show can go Google Westgate Postal Facility, which serves all mail.
All right, well, sir, listen, here's the deal. You say you tried to contact us. Send us a letter, saying, give to Alex Jones. This concerns the anthrax case. I would really want to talk to you. And I appreciate your call, sir. I mean, here's an example, just briefly, of what I'm talking about here. This morning, I'm on Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com, and I like to scan comments because I get good points and things mentioned by listeners. But almost always when something's being recommended to me, it's like, why isn't the scum trader covering this? Because I didn't know. But more often than not, I was on YouTube and on my site going, the scum Jones won't cover the lobbyists saying launch stage provocation to start war with Iran. We had an article yesterday morning. We broke that story from nowhere on YouTube. I covered it for like an hour. I'm covering it now. But if someone sees any article, if I have an article about humanless, computer-driven cars in California being approved, I see a comment in there going, you trash, you're not covering this. And it's almost like, it's like the public's so dumbed down, they've awoken to the government's evil, but they still have no navigation skills of, I'm driving over that hill over there. And you drive over the hill and go, I see a red fire engine. They lied to me and didn't tell me there was a red fire engine. It's like, we didn't know there was a red fire engine over the hill. I mean, it's like really weird, because that's the most common criticism I get is, why aren't you covering this? Why aren't you covering that? Why aren't you going over this? Why aren't you going over that? It's like, I didn't know about it, or I get busy and it's so much. Here's the message. It isn't about Alex Jones. I'm a guy who loves liberty like you do. And if you have all this evidence, you should turn a camera on, show the documents, and shoot a YouTube video. And then I can go spot check some of your documents instead of you mailing me stuff and me having to double check it all here. And then other people can vet it. And then media may pick it up. Don't just try to go to Alex Jones. Because I'm like trying to drink Lake Superior out of a straw here. And keep sending me stuff. It's just that you need to move with it as well. Vaughn in Washington, D.C. disagrees. Vaughn, you're on the air.
Yes, Alex, I don't totally disagree with much of what you're saying, but just think about it. Memorandum 200, written, of course, by Kissinger, he had mentioned how the population was growing from 1830 up until the time he had written in his projections to 2000. Based on the money system that we have, that we operate off of in the world, fiat, not resource-based money system, the population is too large. It's too big. And you don't think that it's too big for the economic money system that we have to exchange?
No, sir. The globalists all day talk about how they want to have the economy be good for us, but in their more internal memorandum, it's all about shutting down economies and making us poor. We have incredible wealth, and the elite says we'll overproduce and deplete their resources if we become wealthy. But then they separately block the development of real new technologies because that would destroy their monopolies. Okay? And so the truth is we should already be on Mars right now, and there is a breakaway civilization. How advanced it is, we don't know. But that's why they're on this power trip talking about staging terror attacks on TV in front of us, because they're that arrogant. And I appreciate your call, but that doesn't really sound like a disagreement there. I'm moving quick here. Matt in California who disagrees, you're on the air.
Yes, I've been subjected to listening to you from my brother-in-law for about a week. And I can't say that I can disagree with everything you say exponentially. Even if you were right about all of your paranoid rantings, I couldn't get behind you because of your anger. You're just such an angry person. You're scary.
Yeah, you bet, buddy. I am scary. Absolutely. I got red blood. I like my wife. I like freedom, God, guts, and guns. You better believe it. But let's expand on that. You said, paranoid rantings. Sure, the guy just called in about Memorandum 200 to break countries down and starve people to death, which they're doing to the tune of $30 million a year. Now, I'm giving you real numbers here. I'm giving you documents. I'm giving you Operation Himmler, staged terror attacks by Hitler to start World War II. Why is it that popularly known? I'm giving you real memorandum and real names of people calling for terror attacks today to take our liberties and start World War III. I predicted all of what's happening in Europe right now with precision, not because it was hard, but because it was all public. I mean, specifically, where am I wrong?
Listen, the thing about it is that it's wrong in that I don't feel I have as much in common with you bitter clingers and you gun toters as I would with if we had a foreign occupation. I would have more in common with a Russian or a German troop on the street. I'm not afraid of progress. You're trying to say that we should dismantle the government? People, do you realize they can't go backwards, that people need the system? And people like you are just trying to take away from the people that don't have.
All right, hold on just a minute. Sir, is this a serious phone call? Because I started hearing you almost laugh right there. Is this a serious phone call? Because I know there are people like you out there. Are you serious?
I'm very nervous, sir, because you're frightening. You are so aggressive. You talk about, you get into it with people, you bow up to people, and you yell. And I've had to hear about you from my brother-in-law for months, about how wonderful you are and how you're going to save America. And the whole time, all you do is you're just selling products. Oh, you want to buy my water filter? Want to buy my pollen burst? Yes, I believe that America needs to progress forward. And the thing is, I'm hoping that we actually have our current president for life, because we need to keep progressing forward. If we take a step backward into the evil ways of Romney, or worse yet, Ron Paul, good God, it could all fall apart.
All right. I appreciate your call. I don't think that's a serious call, but I have heard people like that, so it might be. He did attack me for selling things. Let me explain something. George Soros and MSNBC get banker bailout money, your tax money. $500 million in stimulus went to MSNBC to not hire one person, but give all their pig-like staff raises. Okay? The high-level pig-like staff. I sell products I believe in to self-finance, and that's supposedly a bad thing. By the way, we've sold over 10,000 of the 50,000 magazines we have. It's going to sell out very soon. The new October issue of InfoWars magazine is out. Buy it in bulk and give it to people. InfoWarsStore.com. Sick of the globalist eugenicist control freaks adding poison to your water and laughing as you get sick and die? Start purifying your water with ProPure. My friends, I've done a lot of research, and the best gravity filter out there, bar none, is ProPure, and it's available discounted at InfoWars.com. Its filters are silver impregnated to prevent bacterial growth. There's no priming required. It's NSF 42 certified. Optional fluoride filters can reduce fluoride up to 95%. Easy to set up and use. Doesn't require electricity. Purify water from lakes, streams, ponds, and wells. This filter system leaves in beneficial minerals, which is key. Save money by not buying bottled water and avoid BPA that leaches from the plastic. ProPure is the best gravity-fed filter out there. It's what my family uses. Infowars.com already has the lowest price on ProPure. But if you add the promo code WATER at checkout, you get an additional 10% off at Infowars.com. You can also call to order 888-253-3139. Now, in the first hour, I took some calls that disagreed. Then David Icke was on. Folks held. We're going to go to you right now. People that disagree, 800-259-9231. I need to do this more. Not just where people that, disagree go to the head of the line, because we don't screen your calls unless you volunteer that, because it's always just a way for somebody to get to the head of the line. I disagree with you. The New World Order is worse than you say. It's stuff like that. Or I know you're working for the reptoids, or, whatever the joke is. I'm talking about people that think this is a loving global government we have. Or people that think it's good to have false flag terror attacks that are now admitted. That's what we're talking about. Then I'm going to get into our story that's up at drudgereport.com. A lot of other big sites are picking it up. Catching the bizarre TSA freeze security drill caught on camera. We've got an initiative to expose what the TSA is up to. Our crew went to the NSA a few days ago. That aired on the nightly news last night. We have some video of that. Also, the analysis of Judge Dredd conditioning people for the police state, and an update from the thought criminal who has now been charged in court for riding on the street with chalk here in the formerly free United States of America. Now, the psychopath globalist-run New World Order. George, Scott, others are going to you right now. George in Connecticut, welcome to the airwaves. You are on the air.
Hi, Alex. I sort of disagree with the way you handle certain things. It's not so much the subject matter, but I think that it's very frustrating when you get upset and then get us all worked up, and it's like getting worked up for going to the ball and we don't know where to go. Some solutions or action plans might be more in line. So because I don't want to get all burnt out and bent out of shape and not. So something like the chalk thing. Why not call up the governor's office and have this judge pulled? I mean, this is outrageous. Give the number out of the governor or whoever's in charge of putting these judges in power. When there's a 10,000 calls to the governor to yank this judge, don't you think the judge might have a different point of view?
I don't know. They might make the judge king of California. They're like, wow, you hate freedom? You're God. Listen, I hear you and I appreciate your call. Look, I am a reporter, not a general. I have like generals call me up and famous spies, and Alex, you need to lead the resistance, and either it's a setup or they're not living in the real world. I am here to try to give you full spectrum breakdown from different angles of what I believe is going on. Okay? Doesn't mean I have all the answers. And then I believe in you enough that you're going to go out and take action and wake people up. I didn't know that in Austin, the state police, if they see you, who are operating in Austin, that's what I found out, it's done it twice, will arrest children, women, they don't care. If they see kids playing hopscotch, you're going to jail. Of course, they should just go to Target then and Walmart and HEB and arrest people selling it. I mean, this is a system that wants to put the Amish behind bars because they're not criminals, who wants to, but protect the government that runs the drugs and ships the guns to Mexico. They arrest you for protesting on the streets of Austin now. And even though they lose the court cases, they don't care. It's the enemy. It's got to be driven out of existence before the implosion. They will follow orders until the edge of hell. They would feed their children into wood chippers if ordered to. I mean, it's that level of evil. And they're not even evil themselves. They're zombies. They will follow orders right to Nuremberg too. Because they're zombies. They're not real people anymore. You talk to just the general public. They're not there. Nobody's home. So move on to those that aren't completely destroyed. We don't laugh at the zombies. We don't laugh at the jellyfish. We're sad for them. They'll be dead from cancer, viruses, and fluoride soon enough anyways, and GMO. You just have to move on and triage the victims. It's like, oh, I'm sorry you're destroyed. When they smile at you with a demonic look on their face, that's a program. It's a program. They're in fantasy. They watch cartoons as kids of the tough guys. They watch pro wrestling. They think it's real. That's usually the type now they get as cops, and they believe that you're the bad guy and they're going to show you. They don't know they've got a look of demon in their eye. This is the new America. We are a fallen, abortion-loving, a partial birth abortion-loving, 50-plus million babies we cut up. So they're going to cut us up, and they're going to cut up your pension funds, and all the prosperity's gone. It's gone. You want it, you got it. Replaced with the prosperity and the property and the health will be petty power trips where everyone from a toll booth attendant to a McDonald's employee can spy on you and henpeck you, and that's the new sacrament. Okay, I'm ranting. We have to find people who haven't been put in the zombie state. I mean, it really more and more comes down to that. It comes down to consciousness and people being spiritually blind. I mean, you talk about solutions. I'm going to go out as soon as I get the time, and I'm going to draw freedom all over the street. And if I get arrested, so what? I mean, that's the whole point. Like, well, you could get arrested. Well, yeah, I could live in a police state too if I don't stand up against this. What's next? Arresting you as a terrorist for protesting? Oh, they do that now at the DNC. And the Pentagon shows up in court and says, keep him in jail. Protesting is terrorism. And you're like, that sounds crazy. They're getting you used to it. They're like, hey, we chop up babies. It's not a human. Oh, yeah, it's 9 months old. We could adopt it. If you had that baby and killed it yourself a week premature, we'd put you in jail, but we're going to chop it up now. We're going to take your baby's blood at birth and put it in a DNA database. We're going to do what we want, when we want. We're going to give your kids inoculations without consent, even though it's illegal. We're going to lie to you and say it's the law to take shots. We're going to do what we want. We're going to kill you, and you're going to thank us for it. There are hundreds of GMO studies on record. They just came out more this week. Big, major French government studies, you name it, U.S. studies, that these mainline GMO crops that kill the bugs that eat them. Little tip. If corn or wheat kills bugs when they eat it, it has pesticide that naturally grows in it, that they accelerate 1,000 times at least, and it kills bugs, it's going to kill you. And you're going to get gut disorders, and you're going to get cancer. I mean, we're living in fruitcake land, folks, and I'm off the reservation. I know it's the Matrix. I see it for what it is, and I'm beyond caring what they do to me physically, because I am here to stand up for my species. I will not just sit here and plug back into the Matrix and go off into the hinterlands. I got Simon and England and others, but let's go to Scott in North Carolina, then Simon. Scott, you're on the air. Thanks for holding. Go ahead.
Hey, thanks, Alex. It's not that I disagree with you. I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical of a lot of things, but I'm not in denial. So, as your guest said earlier, I'm a good, decent human being who listens to you almost every day for about 3 years now. And I think you're not a general, but you're an attorney general who has an indictment against the system. So I listen to you as a grand juror trying to make a decision as to who's, what's the best for humanity. Is it the New World Order? Is it, fighting back? Is it maybe just sitting back and letting God take care of the whole situation? I don't know, but I listen to you, and I think that you're your arguments are very persuasive. The caller that was angry with you because you were angry, I don't think he was a bad guy. I think he knows what you have to say is right, but he doesn't know what to do with it. He's frightened.
Well, sir, let me just say this about the, the point you were just making. What was the middle point you made? Because I wanted to comment on that.
Oh, gee, I sat for an hour trying to make points. The Attorney General with an indictment.
Look, here's the deal. You said God, just let God handle it. God works through humans. Or if you don't believe in God, the universe, whatever. But it becomes a cop-out. I mean, listen, if we won't stand up against it, when the UN last year in India alone, with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation funding, 67,000 children were given weaponized polio that paralyzed them or killed them. And they've got us to the point where it was just in the news like, yeah, we gave 67,000 it. It's no big deal, though. Earth, but we've got to stick our hands down your pants because terrorists killed a couple thousand. I mean, it's all just pure bull. I mean, are you saying you don't believe that there are dangerous psychos running the world government right now?
No, I don't. I mean, I don't know their hearts, and, as I listen to your show, I love the points you make about how we're creative human beings. You're a good person, Alex, but, if they're basing, I'm agnostic. I don't say that there's a God. I don't say that there isn't a God. God help us, is what I say. I think that, it's my point now, I hope, because it seems that they're stronger, that their intentions are good. Your intentions are good, but are the people behind the scenes? They never speak up. They never say what really is going on.
That's because they don't think you're human. They won't even talk to you unless they know you know that their whole plan. There's not many of them that know the whole plan. This whole thing's about master deception of compartmentalization. The value of this broadcast, not even what I'm doing, but what we do together, is unmeasurable. I mean, this is as close to what's really going on as you're going to get, okay? And you're like, oh, they're so strong. I hope they're not bad. Brother, have you seen the art billionaires buy? Even the New York Times has written about this. The most popular art is images of dead children hanging off meat hooks and things like that. I mean, these people are beyond Hellraiser. Have you looked at what governments do in history? That's not humanity. That's the psychos that crave the power.
Everything we said came true. Everything we've done has been right.
We're going to go to Aaron in Nevada in a moment, but first, let's go to Simon in England. People who disagree with me. Go ahead.
I'm angry. I've had enough of these people. They're a bunch of Christian murdering scum running giant death factories, keeping babies alive and selling their body parts. What more do you know about these people? I go out and face these scum. They literally crawl out from under rocks. They have green looking skin and they run around screaming, "We love Satan. We want to eat babies." I have them on video. Hillary's into creepy, weird, sick stuff, man. She sleeps in the same room with that creepy weirdo woman whose mother wears a hood over her head. What the hell? That woman number one is ugly. Imagine how bad she smells, man. I'm told her and Obama just stink. Obama and Hillary both smell like sulfur. Literal vampire pot-bellied goblins are running around coming after us. My spirit gets close to that evil and I feel it go, ah, ah, ah. We're such self-centered crap. We don't even understand or know hell's rising up against us. Millions of people pouring in, people of the very worst kind, and I'm so pissed. They gonna stab your daughter at the mall. Oh, ooh, ooh. They gonna stab your wife, your son. Ooh. They gonna stab you with a butcher knife. And the police chief is gonna say, "We love our Somalis. We love our Muslims. Oh, they so good. Oh, they so sweet." Welcome to New American Journal 11. I don't know if my dad retweeted this or reposted this. Maybe he did. I talked to him on the phone about it. Shout out to you, Dad, if you did. I really hope everyone enjoyed the classic Alex Jones montage. We're going to come up with several different forms of that. And the way this show is going to kind of work moving forward into the futures, I've been doing the American Journal, or the New American Journal, excuse me, which is what this show is called. This is not the American Journal. This is the New American Journal, which makes it a totally different thing. All right, that's interesting how the law works. But I've been doing this show for the past like 2 weeks, basically, in the morning and from 8 to 11 a.m. But it's just been kind of a Twitter live. I had gray area background behind me. It was gray area theme, so I have the same graphics, whatever. And that's not what this is. This is the morning show. The gray area is the evening show. This is the morning show. And during the morning show, we have, a lot of custom old InfoWars art. We're going to have a lot of the classic edits. And there's so many things that I want to do in the spirit of honoring the, now defunct intellectual property. I mean, it's not defunct. It belongs to everyone. Like, it's free to air. It always was. And that's why they'll probably come after me for playing clips. And I'm allowed to play clips because, it's all free. I was hearing when I was, 12 years old, how it was all free to air and seeing the posters and pictures and all of it. And, we've posted that evidence over to the X pages, but I'm sure it'll be a thing. We're not going to let that stand. We're not going to let that stand. We're not going to let that side. Welcome to the New American Journal with your host, Rex Jones. I want to give you guys a shout out in the chat here. Shout out Holly. Shout out Armfair. Shout out Flapduck or William. Shout out Until the Rope. Shout out. We got, dude, why? Why must you be so hateful? Why is there anything that you can enjoy? Is it all just evil and we're just bad people because you say so? I'm sorry, bro. I'm angry. I've had enough of these people. They're a bunch of Christian murdering scum running giant death factories, keeping babies alive and selling their body parts. That song had 36 million views on the original video before it was pulled down. The one that's up right now has like 16. So you are in the minority of people that found that to be an indictment. Most people love it. Okay. So when I sing it, I'm doing it because most people love it and I'm most people. And you're the outcast here. So I just want to make that clear to people. Yeah, no career in singing for me. Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Thank you so much. Repost the stream. That is the biggest thing that you can do. Repost the stream, please. But you know what? Maybe you guys would be happier if I did this. Maybe I should do a show where I do this.
Oh, Trump, you are my daddy. Yeah, I do anything to make you happy. Oh, Donald T, can't you see? You belong with me, endless ecstasy. Yeah.
Would that be better? Would you enjoy that more? Oh, I got to move the fake plant. Giant fake plant over here. kind of blocking the screen. I can't minimize. But yeah, would you be happier if this was the show? Would you be happier? Because we could do that. I did this as a teenager, to be fair. But, we believed in him for more legitimate reasons, and they're still doing this to this day. So we'll watch this one.
Oh, Trump, you are my daddy. Yeah, I do anything to make you happy. Understand? Oh, Donald T, can't you see? Can't you see? You belong with me in this ecstasy.
Excellent. We love it. Absolutely love it. Want to keep people's minds fresh on this. Of course, this is a fact, a reality that we all know. I don't have to tell you about anything. The gas prices are truly criminal. And it's so funny. The people that run the gas stations are making tons of money. I went over to the Texaco that's near me, and the guy that was in there, I like this guy a lot. He's a cool dude. But he was in there, wearing like regular, like Walmart issue. Now he's wearing designer stuff. And I find that to be quite interesting. But look at that. So here it's like an average. I think last time I filled up, it was like 470, 480. It can go up as high as 490. I haven't seen $5 for regular yet. I know a lot of you guys, when we did the stream last night, have reported $5 for regular gasoline or more in your state, or $7 or $8 or wherever you live, California. God help you. Just move. Just escape California. You don't have to be there anymore. You can end the cycle of abuse and move somewhere else, but don't move here. Go somewhere else, maybe Arizona or something. I'm not going to say Florida because I don't want to offend my Floridian brothers. I showed this last night, and me and Tim kind of got through it quickly. Wasn't this a better time to be alive when they had the freaking tiger on there, guys? Wasn't that a healthier, happier time to be alive? Look at that. Regular 99 cents plus $1.09, Supreme $1.19, diesel for $1. So diesel prices have increased, and I saw some places $7 diesel now. So that's 700%. That's not right. That's not okay. That's not peaceful. When you call yourself the peace president, you have to be peaceful to the domestic economy, and not just peaceful in terms of blowing up elementary schools. You don't get to do stuff like this. It's not okay. And here's the thing. People will come after me online and they will say, well, you don't know what skin you got in the game, boy. And they'll do that. And I'll be like, okay, listen, I have a fulfillment center. I have employees. I have overhead. I have inventory that I have to reorder. I have all of these factors, customer service, return, shipping, all of it, right? All of these things are impacted by the speed and the how should I say this? The speed and the quality of the USPS and what they're able to do for me and the price they're able to do it for. So for me, as a fulfillment center, I have to carry over the cost, like over the month. Like I have someone that's a fulfillment client for me, like Owen, for example, Owen Schroyer. I ship his pre-workout, right? So Owen, I'm his fulfillment client. And when I ship out his pre-workout, now to ship out his pre-workout, it's like a third more expensive because of the diesel surcharge. And that's not okay. That's not what anybody voted for. That's not peaceful. That's not making America great again. That's not putting America first. I mean, my dad's talked about it over and over and over again. His linchpin for believing in Trump, especially the second time, just on basic domestic policy, was that he was going to make energy cheap. We're going to have some sort of shutdown crash anyway. That's kind of unavoidable. That's coming. But at least with low energy prices and abundant food, it might be somewhat manageable, right? And what have we seen now? Consumer sentiment hits an all-time low. Global instability in markets hits an all-time high. Nobody has fuel anywhere. It's the complete opposite of what I just described. And here's the thing. All of this would have been easy to avoid by not starting an illegal war of aggression against the country of Iran. We didn't even start it. Israel started it, and then we had to come in because they have our leash. And you can play the video, and I'm sorry to just harp on this over and over and over again, but I have to. You can play the video, and you can watch it for yourself of Marco Rubio. I believe this is March 1st, at the first presser or the second presser, wherever, saying, look, Israel was going to strike. We feared that American soldiers would be killed in the retaliation, so we wanted to strike with Israel and make sure it was effective, meaning that we thought we could affect regime change, which has always been the Israeli goal. They want to topple the regime. It's not just the uranium. It's not just the missiles. It's not just any of that. They want a failed rump state so that people like PBD, like Patrick Bet-David, could be a carpetbagger and come in and live there. That's literally what it is. You know, all these like foreign rich Iranian expats or Persian expats that want to come back in. The Israelis want to bring them back in. There's that sick marriage between those people, Trump and the Israelis and the evangelical Zionists. And it's a giant snafu, right? And none of this was promised. All you had to do was tell Netanyahu no when he said, hey, doggy, you're going to send your fighter jets, your Tomahawk missiles, and we're going to kill the Ayatollah. All you'd have to do is say no. Keep in mind also, the Ayatollah, of course, it's a crime against God since 2004 for Iran to have a nuclear weapon. We killed the guy that created that law. Doesn't that seem like we might want them to get a nuclear weapon? This is kind of the same thing I point to when it comes to the Dan Bilzerian situation as well. So Netanyahu is the greatest anti-Semite that's ever existed because he's attached the Jewish identity to the Israeli identity to the point through Zionism. That's how you do it. Jewish, Israeli, Zionism, bringing it together to the point where it's unrecognizable to average person, right? And that is by design, and that is to give them a positive moral position to take so they can be, quote unquote, in the right. And I'm sure there's some, I'm Andrew Wilson, I have a debate term for it or whatever. I'm describing a base concept of reality, and you can kind of follow what I'm saying here. So Netanyahu creates this, like it's kind of collective punishment on the global Jewish population because of the Israelis' mass murders and genocide, and because of him attaching that label to it. So any criticism of Israel is considered to be anti-Semitic because Netanyahu says, oh no, please, everyone hates us. Everyone hates us. As he's just like throwing children into wood chippers, bombing entire apartment blocks, demolishing Lebanon, demolishing Gaza, killing little girls in Iran with Trump's help, all of it, right? And then Dan Bilzerian comes along, and Dan Bilzerian is running against Randy Fine, right? Of course, we hate Randy Fine. We spin on Randy Fine. Randy Fine, of course, the biggest supporter of genocide in the Congress. Literally, he's like 500 pounds. He's built like a Baymax from Big Hero 6. That's the Randy Fine build. It's Baymax from Big Hero 6. Someone needs to make that meme. That's pretty funny now that I can picture it in my mind. But you would think, and I thought originally, I was like, hell yeah. And I like Jake Shields. And I've met Jake Shields in person. Phenomenal guy. I consider him to be my friend. Call him Brother Jake. At the same time, when I see the video of Bilzerian saying, yeah, I would enlist to go over there and kill Israelis. That's him saying it, not me. You go, well, so maybe he is outraged, pissed off about the genocide, disgusted by it. I think those people are terrorists, no different than ISIS or Al-Qaeda. That's my view of the IDF. That's my opinion too. I have a very strong position on this. But when you say that you want to go over there and kill, this is how I took it. This is my opinion. All right, I'm speculating. Nothing is concrete, whatever. I watched one video of him talking. I was like, well, this is pretty crazy. When you say stuff like that, you completely invalidate the political position of people legitimately trying to fight against it, legitimately trying to stop it. And you say, well, you don't go far enough, man. And that's why nothing's been done, man. It's actually no. That's just like, oh no, Trump is so evil. We have to burn the country down and have Antifa. Absolutely not. I totally disagree with that. Constitution first, law first, liberty first, God first, Jesus first, period. But you notice how it's always like the most extreme position that someone will take for no reason, and it hurts their own cause. It's like chopping the nose off to spite the face. I'll prove a point. I'll chop my nose off. And you're like, please don't do that. We'd like for you to beat this guy, actually. We'd like Randy Fine to get out of office. We hate him. We think he's scum. You go, no, I'm just going to say I'm going to kill Israelis. Like, what? MIGA? Are you being a MIGA right now? You might be being a MIGA. That might be an agent of Netanyahu. What other conclusion am I supposed to draw? It's freaking bizarre. You know what? I'll just go ahead and get into all of it because it's the first hour. I'm allowed to monologue. And I will get into the news, I promise. Do have a lot of news to cover for you guys. Stuff on the war, hantavirus, data centers, Netanyahu, all of it. But the thing about failure is that sometimes you don't think you've learned from the failure. You have learned from the failure. And I kind of had this like coalescing happen in my mind after the America First United event. When I look back in my mind and all the various things that I had attended, the people I had met kind of in the similar spirit, the similar vibe, going back to even before Trump. There have always kind of been people like this, like the young men in suits that want to be like big on the internet, like that, and just like in politics in general, like that's been popular for a very long time. But realizing now that we truly are leaderless, realizing now there truly is like absolutely, like, there's no voice in the movement, like besides Nick Fuentes. And then they say Nick Fuentes is America First. That's his movement. I understand from the branding perspective, like that being called his show and all of that. But when I think of America First, this isn't a diss at Nick at all. Much more talented than me, does a much better show than me, all of it. Okay. Went to the same school, InfoWars, all of it. That being said, like, how do I put this? And that's why he does a much better show than me, ladies and gentlemen. That's why I gave that little disclaimer, because I knew I wouldn't be able to land the ship there. How do I want to put this? So, America First as a concept to me, I thought that's what Trump talked about in 2016, right? And no foreign entanglements, putting ourselves first, peace through strength, no more wars in the Middle East, the 2024 platform as well, all of it, right? And I like Fuentes. I think that he's a very talented broadcaster, and I'm a big fan, I will say. But as far as the political positions go, he's the only guy out there with anything at all. And even though I don't agree with it, like even like 60, 70%, it's still valid in its nature and its critique. Like when he makes the critique of saying, oh, well, I'm going to vote Democrat in 2026. You got people like the Quartering and like Andrew Wilson that'll waddle out and say, no, young man. I've been alive a lot longer than you, and you think you're going to affect this radical change. And the only way to affect change, like Quartering says it can't affect change at all because all the presidents are bad. Andrew Wilson says the Republicans are all we got because the Democrats are evil. So you got to, serve the Republicans and kiss the Republican boot because the Democrats will kick you in the face and at least the Republicans will nuzzle you with it. That's basically the argument. Nick Fuentes says, no, if we don't come out strongly against this, it shows that our coalition is weak. And when we have no coalition, we have no energy, no movement, no motion within the party. And then we can't actually do anything and we can't affect change. And you'll notice on the debate I had with Andrew Wilson, I gave the RFK example when he's chuckling at me and telling me that like ending universal suffrage is more realistic than having an independent run inside the Republican Party and then peel away, which is just crazy. But I made the point of like, hey, like look at RFK Jr. RFK Jr., he runs, he gets like at least like 11 to 12% of Americans at one point to say they're going to vote for him after he leaves the Democratic primary. He was so influential, Trump had to marry him to his campaign to take his people, and he probably helped push Trump over the hump big time. So if that spirit exists, if the spirit of Ron Paul exists, if the spirit of Ross Perot exists, if the spirit of Pat Buchanan exists, and so on and so forth, and go down the line, go down the list, I truly believe that if we marshal our strength, we marshal our abilities, and like I said about us being leaderless, rudderless, if instead of looking for the strongman solution, I've heard Webber say this, I've heard Fuentes say this, instead of looking for that, if we can look for the rights-based solution, the constitution-based solution, when we're all just naturally empowered by our nature, that's the key. That's the way out of this. And it's the political knowledge of what's going on, building that new independent coalition and finding that leader. Because that leader does exist, and that leader needs to be a humble person. Needs to be strong, but when they say strong man, I think of a Hitler, or I think of a Mussolini, or I think of a whatever. We need a Teddy Roosevelt right now. We need somebody like that. And that's what I'd like to advocate for on this show. And my grander point being with all of that is just going to America First United, going to these events just over the course of my life and just kind of seeing the people and whatnot. People do this because they want to be cool. People do this because they're like, oh, I got the social media. I'm all dressed up. I'm talking to people. Oh, I talk. Yeah. I'm in the rooms. I'm making the connect. That is the lamest shit ever. All right. And the thing that I was the most proud of at InfoWars and just really now to this day is that we have and always will be 100% real and authentic because we don't care about that stuff. And it's a hermit style operation, as in you have to seek it out. Right. So like my dad hit me up after the event. He's like, why did you go? Like, why did you spend the money on the plane tickets? And like, I was like, you know what? You're 100% right. Like those people were blessed to be around me. I wasn't blessed to be around them. It was quite the opposite. I was the biggest person there. Joel's much bigger than I am, but with the InfoWars death behind me, that magnifies me a lot. And I should have taken over the event and given a speech. And in the future, that's what I'll be doing. I don't give a fuck anymore. I'll just take things over, and they can kick me out if they want to. But here's the thing. I have a real message of age limits, term limits, finding that zeitgeist, that spirit of the country, that spirit of the times, finding the person, that dark horse that's going to make J.D. Vance or Rubio look like Jeb Bush, pushing them forward, ending the wars, ending the genocide, ending the spending, ending the killing. That's our platform. And ending the data centers, all of it. And it's very simple. Here's what it is. It's called being pro-human. All right? And we can be America first. We can be Groyper. We can be whatever. But if you're not pro-human, then you're not a part of my movement. You can be pro-human and a Groyper. I consider myself to be honorary Groyper. I'm a big fan of Nick Fuentes. I think he's the most talented voice in a generation. That being said, if you're not pro-human, if you want to kill people because you think you got the right to kill people, if you want to oppress people because you think you got the right to oppress people, I'm not your guy. And that's fine. And there's shows for you to watch, and you're entitled to your opinion. But what I want to do here is I want to build a big tent. I want to have a real coalition of people, of Americans that are able to come together and say no to all this garbage. And I think that's so important for the country right now, because like when I go to this event, when I go to a liberal thing in Austin and I see them march around, whatever, it is pageantry. That's the word I was looking for. It's all pageantry. It's theatrical. It's performative. And that's the thing is, like me, I will show up in my t-shirt. I will show up with my mind focused on what I want to talk about, not who I want to meet. Imagine that. Imagine that. Imagine me being on the plane on my notepads, writing down the stuff I want to say for hours and hours and hours, and then getting yapped over. Imagine that. I should have been a speaker. And you know what? We're going to do things like that. We're going to do events. We're going to do more shows. We're going to do more guest shows and more live things. That's the future. And it truly showed me that I truly can, we can all together do a much better job than the people that prance around and do this for fun. Because we're not doing this for fun. We're doing this because we live in reality. You know, it's dedication. It's a purpose. It's a drive to do this. Like when I started doing the show again for the first time, not the first time, but when I started hosting the show again 7 months ago, I got back into it because the Ukraine war made me so mad that I was like, I can't tolerate this. I can't take it anymore. So I got back in, and then I had to learn about Gaza. I had to learn about all of these things. That education happened earlier, like 2023. But like prior to that, I didn't really know. And that made me realize just how big of a blind spot I had, because the ideology and the things that I had been taught as a little kid, and I had known about the Middle East and all of it, and I had known about the death, and I thought that we were responsible for it. I thought that we had done it all, that we had paid for it. And I always realized America was a terrorist state. I did a video on that when I was 8 years old called Terrorism 101. So that's been my like almost 2 decades long position on that topic. But I didn't even know about the Israel question until, like just a couple of years ago. I really and truly, I got red pilled. And I think that's true for a lot of people. And one of the things I really liked that Fuentes said was that you can OD on red pills. Now, when I say that, I don't mean having a moderate milquetoast, bitched out position. That's not my position. My position is 100% grounded in my anger in the killing, because they should not be able to murder people the way they do and have you, it's a tough situation. No one else gets away with killing 100,000 people, 100,000 civilians. Nobody. It's outrageous. It's insane. It's criminal. It's war criminal. Netanyahu should be tried and judged according to law. Leave it at that. And he's an international criminal. He's wanted by the International Criminal Court of Justice. He ain't ever going to show up to that. Notice how long he's been in office. We always hear about Putin the dictator, 25 years of Putin. Well, it's like longer for Netanyahu. You're never going to hear about that, folks. But it's important to realize that when you get mad, when you get angry, when you get upset, that's a part of their controlled response for you that they know that you're going to have. And they're going to try to funnel you in some way where you become ineffective towards fighting against, the problem, the issue. And the issue is ignorance within our own population. 54% of Americans can't read or read at or below a 6th grade level. That is insane. So you ask yourself, hey, I thought Massey is really popular. Why is Ed Galrin about to beat him, or it looks like he might beat him in the polls? Well, a lot of Americans are illiterate. And when they see an ad that say, Trump good, Masses say Trump bad. Vote for Trump. Ed Gower, Navy SEAL, American Patriot. They go, American Patriot, I vote. American Patriot, I vote too. It's not exclusive to the South. It's left, right, center. It's everywhere. It's all over. That's the thing. It's just, it's people a lot of the time that mean well, but they have some motivation as to they don't want people to die. They want America to be protected. And then the globalist class, the evil class, they attach something parasitic to that. Like, oh, if you don't want people to be killed, you got to support what's happening in Gaza because Israel's just defending itself. And you see how that trick works? It's a little magic spell. It's really disgusting stuff they do. But I want to check in with you guys, and I want to actually cover the news. Thank you guys for listening to a little bit of the monologue. Could have been a lot better. Ooh, a lot of comments today. Yeah, thank you. Shout out Mersey Dote. Shout out Parish Place. Shout out Sinister Mace. Shout out Anthony Graffio. Blah, blah, blah. Shout out Nimrod Pod. Shout out Wars of the Info. Shout out everyone in here. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate everyone on the stream. Here's the thing. I appreciate the advice. I really do. You guys are so loving and so nice and such kind people. Some of you. Others are not. Let's watch this. So I played this last night, and Tim was kind of like, you want to get to the hantavirus thing, and we ended up having a giant Israel debate anyway. I don't understand how you can separate the people that elect this motherfucker from the dude. I don't understand how you can say, well, only 20% of them voted for Netanyahu, blah, 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 blah. This is endemic. Any society that tolerates this much in the same way, by the way, and I'm not a hypocrite on this because I'm 100% accurate on it. I treat Trump the same exact way with the same exact vitriol that I treat Netanyahu because that's my accountability as an American. And it's yours too, by the way, especially if you voted for him, because these people are evil, man. These people are evil. And voting for them, we didn't know about Trump. He promised genuinely to end the wars, to do all this stuff, be peace president. Netanyahu has a career record of like 37 years of just murdering people. So that's on record, by the way. That's what he does. He funds terrorist groups. He allows green flag operations to happen like October 7th. He causes wars and kills thousands just to stay in power and delay his criminal trials. And any society that's like, oh yeah, you got Hitler in charge, but most people don't like Hitler. Only the Nazis like Hitler. Like that's what I hear, basically, when I hear that. But I'm going to play this, and I want you guys to make up your own minds because he's talking about our military here and his military. He's the president, Heil Netanyahu.
Is the war with Iran over? And if it isn't, who will decide when it is?
I think it accomplished a great deal, but it's not over because there's still nuclear material, enriched uranium that has to be taken out of Iran. There's still enrichment sites that have to be dismantled. There's still proxies that Iran supports. There are ballistic missiles that they still want to produce. Now, we've degraded a lot of it, but all of that is still there, and there's work to be done.
How do you envision the highly enriched uranium will be removed from Iran?
You go in and you take it out.
With what?
You go in and you take it out.
Not him, not the IDF, not the Mossad, American soldiers. Yeah, listen up, boy. You better go up in there and take that, boy. That's what I hear when I hear him smirking and grinning and slurping and salivating over doing this to us. Look at this. Look at this, guys. The face of evil. He's Hitler.
With what? Special forces from Israel, special forces from the United States?
Well, I'm not going to talk about military means.
Oh, he's not going to talk about military means. And look, he looks off to the side. He knows he's lying. He's trying to think of something else to say. Of course, he's very happy when he's thinking about the boots that are going on the ground. So how do those boots go on the ground, Mr. Netanyahu? How does that happen? How do you go from this? Real happy about it. Really happy. Look at that. It's like rizzing up the hose, telling someone where there's cocaine. Like that's what that is. That's your coke dealer facial expression, by the way. And then, oh, I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. Nothing ever fell off a truck. You know, maybe some of it got sold, whatever. I don't know how it happened. I didn't take possession of it. You got to believe me. There's slimy people, folks.
President Trump has said to me, I want to go in there. And I think it can be done physically. That's not the problem. If you have an agreement and you go in and you take it out, why not? That's the best way.
What if there isn't an agreement? Can it be taken out by force?
Well, you're going to ask me these questions. I'm going to dodge them because I'm not going to talk about our military possibilities, plans, or anything of the kind.
And I'm just trying to get at how long is it?
Who's this R? Who's this we? We always hear about the they. Well, he's using it here. What's going on? Listen to this. Damn it.
You're going to ask me these questions. I'm going to dodge them because
yup.
I'm not going to talk about our military.
And look, he looks down. He knows he's lying. He's trying to think of something to say. I'm not going to talk to you about our military operations. Who is R? So even though you didn't vote for him, even though you didn't elect him, this guy's your president, ladies and gentlemen. And that's the big problem. All right. That's the big problem with the big Yahoo. You didn't vote for him. You didn't consent for him to be in power, but he is your boss. And I want you to think about that and think about, did I consent to that? Like when I was voting for Trump, and I've used this example in debate, and I say, hey, we've got these logical positions and they're thought out and you're defending your guy. I'm defending my position. What do you tell the fat housewife in Galveston, Texas that wanted to end the children being murdered in Ukraine and Gaza and saw Trump promise to end all the wars? Said Trump would do no new wars in the Middle East, no more neocon wars, all of it, right? You find compilations of him literally saying it hundreds and hundreds of times. And then you tell that fat housewife from Galveston, Texas, you go, oh, spoiler alert. You want to meet your real president? This is your real president. This is who you actually voted for. This is where the money actually comes from or is actually orchestrated from. Benjamin Netanyahu, Likudnik party, Israeli government, just in general, the Israeli government. That's where it came from. And you realize, and this is the example that I gave, you realize that it is the 51st state. It is the capital of the United States of America. And just like we have, a state senator or a state congressman, they have, the American senator and the American congressman. And that's local, and that's America, and that's domestic. It's little, it's little. The big money, the federal control, the killing power, that resides in Israel. Our foreign policy is run out of there. They take our senators over there on little, middle school field trips. And they learn what's what, and they kiss the wall. They kiss the wall. Think about that. This guy's an American, by the way. A lot of people don't know that. This guy's an American. He's from here. So, maybe he could be president. No, why not? Why can't he actually just be our president? Why he's more cognitively fit than Trump. He's more willing to just murder everybody than Trump is. Why can't we just elect him? We already did, basically. Why can't we just coordinate him right now? And Trump can just go play golf. I think that would be a lot more honest to a lot more people if we lived in that society, because we all know Netanyahu is the real president. We're fully aware of it. And I want you to take a look at this. And this is just another example of the thing that irks me a lot is I'm trying to build a big tent coalition. Trying to build left-right unity, post-duopoly, all that. You're not a donkey. You're not an elephant. You're a human being. That being said, I'll come back to myself. There is this thing with people where I see a Palestinian flag and I see a Ukrainian flag together. And I have to go, how'd that happen? Because you realize it's all propaganda. It's all spoon-fed to people, this narrative about the ghost to Kiev and Zelensky, the hero in the Situation Room, and the evil Russians killing the poor Ukrainians. Oh, it's so terrible. Oh, the invasion. Zelensky is literally Kevin Spacey. He played the president on TV. It was called the people's president or whatever, bankrolled by a Ukrainian Jewish billionaire. Zelensky had an opportunity to sign a peace deal in March of 2022 to end the conflict just a month after it started. He was about to sign it. NATO flew in, America flew in, Boris Johnson promised to give him infinite military aid. Since then, over 1 million Ukrainians have died. So there's your hero. And oh, you know, they're neo-Nazis as well. It's called the Azov Battalion, the Maidan coup. You may not have heard of these things. Maybe you should look them up. They wear Nazi insignia. They wear Nazi patches. It's so bad. The hypocrisy and the ignorance and the historical illiteracy is so bad that Justin Trudeau invites Zelensky and a member of the Nazi SS over to the Canadian Parliament to get a standing ovation. And they say, he fought the Russians during World War II. What's going on? What's going on? Because Palestinian struggle is real. Those people had their land stolen in 1948 and had 750,000 of them disenfranchised and pushed off and put on a reservation. And then over time, they shrunk the size of those reservations and they bombed and they raped and they murdered and they killed people. And whenever they tried to rose up or fight back, they called them terrorists. So what does that have to do with the Ukrainian Banderites, who are literal neo-Nazis who contributed in the pogroms and all of it and the killings of Christians and Jews? I know that's not to the majority of my audience, but I know there's probably one person out there listening to me. You need to reevaluate your political positions, because I care about the death. I care about the murder. I want it all gone. And I care about human rights abuses and just crimes against rights in general, conspiracy against rights, just because of the small, tiny, like microscopic amount of it that's happened to my family. You know, it's like a bacterium in an elephant. It's not the same thing, but it's the same concept. You can kind of see what I'm saying there. You need to reevaluate your political take on that, because Ukraine is a terrorist state in the same way Israel is a terrorist state. And it just goes to show, and that's kind of my point at the beginning, that a lot of the political stuff is pageantry for people, and they just want a sports team or they just want a costume. I don't want to live in that world. You're not a donkey. You're not an elephant. You're a fucking human being. Act like one. For real. I need to act like one too. The average age of a Ukrainian soldier is like 48. I think it may even be higher now. If you are a guy and you're not all grayed out or all whited out, like if you're not an ancient, like Rip Van Winkle type character, they're going to throw you in a van or in a bus, and they're going to send you out to the front line. You are going to be blown up by an FPV drone. You'll be used as cannon fodder, as meat. And that's what fodder is, like food. You're going to be used as meat for the war grinder, the war machine. And people are like, Slava Ukraine, I wear my blue and white flag. I mean, that faggot, I hope he doesn't kill me, okay, because he probably could. That faggot going, I am call sign Lupo. I'm an maybe he's dead now. I don't want him to die, but I hope he's back home in Australia safe, not fighting a stupid war for no reason. I'm call sign Lupo. I run through. You're a retarded faggot fighting a globalist war for transnational capital interests. And it involves the death of your own race as well. That's just a side issue. Like, you know, I'm lazy. I'm wearing a t-shirt. I don't have body armor on, and I'm not running around with a gun in Ukraine. But at least I'm not killing anybody. At least I'm not depriving anybody of their rights. At least I'm trying to live in a pro-humanity world where I get to have children. I get to have children. And because you're fighting a war for Zelensky and for Netanyahu, you won't. So what's going on here, Miga? Wake up. Wake up and smell the roses. Make the logical decision. Be a pacifist. Don't let these people try to sell you a false version of masculinity, using that to kill you, using that to make you meat for their war. We don't subscribe to that. I mean, look at this. I'm going to play this video.
Да не отпустите ж вы его! Оставьте мужчину! Света, достаньте телефон! Убегайте!
Catching strays from the Chihuahua.
Вот пидор женщину! Пидор задул женщину! Вот!
So grandma just got maced trying to save somebody from going in the van. Look at this little retarded homo right here, this little globalist agent. You know, I'd like to live in a world where we have Nuremberg and we string these people up. I'd like for him to be publicly executed, because this is a war crime. This is forced conscription. We don't do this anymore. Read the Versailles Treaty. Read Nuremberg. It's not allowed.
гондоном. Пидорас, женщину, вставайте.
Что вы сделали?
Стойте. Пидорас вот этот. Задул женщину, гондон ебаный. Женщине лет сколько, ты пидор, сука. Пошли нахуй отсюда, пидорасы, блядь.
It already is illegal. All of this is already illegal. And that's the thing. People don't know. Everything that's gone on in Gaza is illegal. Everything that's gone on in Lebanon is illegal. Everything that's gone on in Iran is illegal. It's all massive crime. And then you talk to people now, whether it's my co-host Tim or Andrew Wilson or anybody, and they say, well, international law just doesn't exist. And I know Tim comes at it from the perspective of it should matter, but it doesn't. But here's the thing. We got to start acting like it does. And we got to demand that it matters because we got people being thrown into buses to be blown up by FPV drones. And if you consent to that, and silence is violence, by the way, if you're not outwardly against it, if you're not protesting against it, you're not organizing against it, all of it, then you're a part of the problem. And like, that's why I do this show, is everyone needs to at least have a voice about these things and literally talk about them every day. This is, it's another Holocaust. This is another Holocaust. Millions dead globally from these wars, these proxy wars that we bankroll set up. Unbelievable, man. It's crazy. And then people will tell me, no, man, they're fighting for their land, brother. And I'm like, nobody's fighting for their land. BlackRock is going to buy it all after all the Ukrainians are dead. And then the Afghanis and the African migrants are going to live there. Like, give me a fucking break. Like, and how is that not just like an objectively correct take? I just predicted the future. That's what's going to happen. And how do I know that? Because I know history. And Larry Fink went over there with Witkoff and Kushner and met with Zelensky. And they decided how they were going to carve everything up. So take the Ukrainian flag out of your bio. If I can get one person to do that, unless you're Ukrainian, and that's whatever, it's your nationality, ethnicity. And I understand that. But if you're some retarded chungus in the United States of America that believes that the Ukrainians are fighting for their rights, I've got a bridge to sell you. I've got some Patriot missile batteries to sell you. They work, by the way. Trust me. Trust me. I wouldn't lie to you. The Patriot missile defense system works. Good grief. Getting into this, I kind of talked about it earlier. Nick Fuentes came out as Democrat this week, and he's not alone. Many erstwhile, trying too hard with the English there. No one uses that parlance anymore. Right-wing podcasters are now finding they have more in common with the left these days. It's not true. And she's got, of course, a giant Star of David, or Rem fan, whatever you want to call it, Solomon, right there. Finding they have more in common with the left these days, thanks to meeting of the minds on a singular issue, one's level of comfort blaming Jews for the world's ills. Well, here's the thing, sweetheart. There's a reason why people like you and people like Alan Dershowitz, Epstein's lawyer, people like this, people like Lindsey Graham, former Never Trumper, all the Never Trumpers, there's a reason why all of you are calling yourselves right-wing now. Because just like you try to say Zionism means Jewish when it really means Israel in support of the terrorist state, you're saying right-wing when you really mean support of war and genocide and neocon foreign policy. So we're not even going to play this cow. She will remain paused on the screen, but she just goes ahead and like lays out a whole spiel. And the first part of like first 30 seconds, she just tells the truth, which I thought was weird. I thought, is this left wing? Is this right wing? I didn't know it was Chris Cuomo's outfit. Apparently this is the news organization that he runs or manages or works for or whatever. But she goes, I'll just play it. Why not? I said I would pause. I would play it. I'll play it. I'll be nice to the evil woman.
Welcome back to the show. The racist, anti-Semitic, misogynistic podcaster Nick Fuentes came out as a Democrat this week, telling his audience, I'm a non-woke, moderate Democrat. I think the GOP needs to be destroyed. He is not alone in crossing the aisle. Marjorie Taylor Greene has a newfound love for and among Democrats since she turned on Donald Trump and started blaming it.
Outside of anything, I'm not talking about the necklace, whatever. Does that look friendly to you? Does she look trustworthy to you? And I know I'm chopped and ugly as fuck. Okay, I get it. But like, there's some real like HR department, like I'm going to make you lose your job type of energy here that I'm detecting. And It's these people. This is the exact archetype of people that get into media. She wants to be a smart person. She wants to be the grand poobah. She wants to be the talking head. She thinks it's cool to be on TV. It's actually not cool. It actually sucks, by the way. Like when you do this stuff and you project this version of yourself, you lose a portion of your soul. And that's what she's done. She just doesn't have a soul left in general because she sold out to genocide and all this policy.
Israel for genocide, among all manner of other crimes. Tucker Carlson is now excited to meet with the Democratic Senate candidate for Maine, Graham Plattner, whose most salient feature is the Nazi tattoo he's had for 20 years and only covered up.
It is 100%. He does have like the Waffen SS, like skull and crossbones thing. That is, and he did cover it up, by the way. So that is interesting to me. Like you're a Democrat? I guess so. The only valid point she makes.
With another tattoo a few months ago when his political opponents were about to expose it. Anna Kasparian of the left-wing Young Turks has admitted she watches the virulently anti-Semitic Candace Owens and is deeply moved by Owens.
All right, get her off the screen. The virulently anti-Semitic Candace Owens. Give me a fucking break. Look, you know, Heil Hitler, okay? It's a fucking joke, right? Candace Owens is not a virulent anti-Semite, all right? A virulent anti-Semite is someone like Netanyahu who purports the death of all Jews by saying, hey, if you don't move to Israel so we can bomb and kill everybody, everyone's going to hate you. And by perpetuating that loop and that self-fulfilling prophecy. That's a real anti-Semite. Candace Owens, not a real anti-Semite. Tucker Carlson, not a real anti-Semite. Nick Fuentes, he might say he is one, but ultimately, I don't think any of these people want to kill Jewish people. I think these people want to divest from Israel. And that is not anti-Semitic. That is not Heil Hitler thing to say. Divestment from Israel is a phenomenal thing. Like that's what we all need to advocate for as a country. And that's not radical foreign policy. That's rational. Okay, and it's not anti-Semitic to say it. The GOP is like Old Yeller. Exactly, 100%. It is a dog that we loved that now has rabies and is trying to kill us and everyone in our family. And what do you have to do? Got to put Old Yeller down and get the new dog. And that's just the reality of government and party ownership. And that's what Thomas Jefferson said about the tree of liberty and the blood. So there's multiple levels you can think about this from. I am a free speech absolutist. I'm not letting anybody censor me. I'm going to say what I want, what's on my mind 100% of the time. And people can kind of do these dances where they want to act like they have like some crazy political take, like the Chud the Builder guy. All right, and maybe we'll interview him. That might be a powerful interview. I have nothing against him. All right, I don't hate any of these people on the internet. But going out there and doing that, like, what's the concept or the motivation or the point you're trying to prove by calling people the hard R in the street and like yelling at them? I saw Charleston White laugh and say, well, he's showing that like it's the word and black people aren't going to do anything to you or whatever. I was like, it seems wildly dangerous, seems brain dead to do. I don't understand it. But hey, if you're doing that from the perspective of free speech absolutism and saying, hey, I have the right to say whatever I want, you don't actually get to hit me or do violence towards me. Even though you might do it and it's illegal for you to do it, these are just words. I'm allowed to say them. That's the same with everything here. And we're not returning. We're not going back to the 2010s world of censorship. And this is a very deep thing for me. And this is the thing. When I said earlier about the America First United thing, and I was talking about it and talking about myself being the biggest person there, it's like, I have been doing this since I was 8 years old. And some of the biggest people there just started doing this during COVID. Really? In 2018, we had a channel with nearly 3 billion views, nearly 2 million, or nearly 3 million subscribers, 2.3 million subs that got yeeted off the internet. All of my childhood work burned up, completely gone in a split second, in a freaking instant. Okay. Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all gone. Nobody else besides Fuentes has ever had to deal with something of that magnitude. He had to get it even worse. Okay. I think he got it on like payment processing as well. We've also had those problems, but it's the people that have no skin in the game. It's the people that have never been censored. It's the people that just appeared 5 seconds ago. It's the people like, here's the thing. And this is why I'm Team Fuentes over Team Bilzerian. Like 100%, ride or die. Team Fuentes over Team Bilzerian is because Dan Bilzerian was on a fucking boat with a ton of like biddies, like 5 years ago, 6 years ago, whatever. Nick Fuentes was in the trenches on D Live, not being able to eat, doing this because he loves it, doing it because he cares. I might disagree. I might have a different platform, and I do, but that's honor, that's striving, that's courage, that's bravery. And when you waltz on in and try to destroy people's established political positions because you think you're an influencer and you have the right to do it and it's good clout, it's good content, fuck you. Seriously. What gives you the nerve? What gives you the balls? You would be like going into some like master sculptor or painter's workshop being like, you know, people think I draw good things in the ground. Let me go ahead and smash everything you built, everything you made. That's what he's doing in that election with Randy Fine. When he talks like that, I supported him prior until I saw the video of him saying he wants to kill Israelis. And now I'm like, what the fuck? So 100% Team Fuentes, because here's the thing. Agree, disagree, whatever. It takes a lot of balls and a lot of nerves to do this for a decade. And he did it for a decade alone. Didn't have a team, didn't have a crew, just out in the ocean by himself. Swimming. Not many people have enough hockey to do that. Okay, it's pretty insane. So when someone comes around, whether it's this lady trying to tie together the Jewishness and the Israeli identity to do the Zionism thing, calling people anti-Semites because they oppose the terrorist state of Israel, in the same way, Dan Bilzerian is proving her very point when he says he wants to go over there and kill Israelis. Do you see what I'm saying here? Problem, reaction, solution. We have evil anti-Semites, so, oh, Randy Fine needs to win the election. We have evil anti-Semites, so, oh, we need to move to Israel. And it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, and the people that are witting or unwitting, stupid or malevolent, whatever it is, that are buying into this, that are opting into this, instead of just running a straight-up campaign just against genocide, against the murder, against the killing, you're a part of the problem, bro. You're part of the problem. Yeah, I'm Team Fuentes on this, 100%. And I know I got friends that are very pro-Bilzerian. I'm friends with Jake Shields. I'm friends with Anthony, tons of people, right? And I have nothing against the guy personally. But when you do that, when you waltz on in after selling fucking weed and vapes and shit and being on boats with biddies, we weren't on boats with biddies. No, we were getting like federally investigated and shit. Okay? It's like, oh, Navy SEAL, tough guy, whatever. Whatever. Not a Navy SEAL. That's number one. But you don't get to make statements like that when you say that you're running seriously for political office and not to sabotage the movement. And what Fuentes says about voting Democrat in 2026, I'm not going to be doing that. I'm not going to be voting. I'm done. But he's not saying that in 2028. He's saying that in 2026 because if we don't do something, it shows our coalition is weak and that Republicans can continue to smack us around because they're the pimp we know versus the pimp we don't. They're column A. It's better than column B. You get raped less. That's the argument. So people like Bilzerian either unwittingly or wittingly are falling into that. And when you say you want to go over there and just murder people, that's how you lose the country. That's how you lose the big tent coalition. That's how you lose everything, really. And I think Fuentes is right in his criticism. That being said, everybody's probably a Fed. Who cares anyway? So I can tell you I'm not. I can tell you my dad's not. On God. That's true. But as far as everybody else, I don't fucking know, man. And that's why I always loved our hermit style of doing things is because, like, nobody around us wanted to be in the in club. Nobody around us wanted to go rub shoulders at these events or go and do these things and feel like, oh, we're in media, we're the big people. We were just the realest people to ever do this in alternative space. And we just did it. And that's just like me doing this show for you guys again. I'm bad at doing this. I'm getting better at doing this. I'm practicing, I'm working, I'm performing, I'm doing all of it, right? But it's what my granddad always says. He says, life's a process. All this is a process. And when you try to skip the process and you just try to, here's the result. The beauty is in the journey. It's not in the destination. And if you just want to show up and launch nukes from orbit, maybe realize you're going to poison the earth forever for all of us. And I'm talking about Bilzerian here. I'm also talking about like the world and everything. But like, hey, when you come in here after a carefully laid framework by us to fight against this system, to raise awareness against it, to start the noticing is built. And then you just say, oh, you got this nice car here that's going to go really fast. Once you get down this point in the track, I'm just going to accelerate all the way at the turn. because I'm insane. And you go, well, you shouldn't be driving then. And I go, oh, you want Randy Fine to drive? And that's how you lose an election. I don't know how you argue with that. I'm just correct. I know I'm correct. I've been doing this a lot longer than most people. That's another thing. It's so crazy. I really need to do the speaking tour. And it's all wrapped up in the Alex Jones apologetics. It's all wrapped up in everything. But eventually, I'm going to go around the country and going to get the world, hopefully, and give talks about this. Give talks about the First Amendment, the disenfranchisement of America, the fractal nature, the kaleidoscopic nature, the canopticon of different political identities and teams and factions and formulations in America, and why we need to just wake up and praise Jesus and the Constitution and the Bill of Rights and Declaration of Independence. And I'm working on that. I know it's correct. I know it's true. But until you can deliver a perfect 2-hour screed, a perfect show of force truly into the camera, directing all the energy, then it won't be good enough to do live. So I appreciate all of you guys tuning into these shows, and especially like one like this. This is turning into a monologue. Just turn into a yapping session from me. I haven't done one without a co-host in a while. I'm a little out of practice. That's why. It's also very important for me to do my solo shows. I appreciate Anthony. I really appreciate Tim. I appreciate everybody. But it's important for me to do my solo shows because the brain is like a muscle. The tongue it literally is a muscle. Like I have to work at getting better at this. And I'm monologuing today, which is interesting. But I can't just monologue all day. I can't just tell you guys what I think all day. I got to do something else because here's the thing. A lot of other people, they do this. They get paid to do it. They work at the Blaze. They work at the Young Turks. They get some paycheck. They get some bag of coins. I got absolutely nothing but you, the viewers and listeners out there that choose to support me, okay? I run a manufacturing facility out of Denton, and then I have shipping out of Leander, Texas. Everything I sell, whether it's on jonescbd.com, 50percentoff.com, or shroomforce.com, is made in America, tested in America, shipped in America, period. You're helping American employees. You're helping the American economy. You're contributing to the real classic system that we used to have. And here's the thing. I'm never going to ask you for a handout. If you want to give me a donation, I really appreciate it. And Rumble Wallet's incredible. We love that. At the same time, I'd much rather, to be honest, I'd much rather you buy a product or a bunch of products from me and try them out. Because I believe in equivalent exchange. I believe in giving something to get something back. I don't believe in just asking you for a freebie because I don't think I deserve one. But I'm telling you right now, Dreamwave PM Blend. Let's take a little look at this. And I want to show you the perfection or near perfection of what my design philosophy is. This is cheaper, better, higher quality than anything on the market right now. And it's got a 20 teens price. Okay, this is like a price from 2015. $37.95. Full spectrum, 1,500 milligrams CBD tincture. Combines blue chamomile, German CO2 extracted blue chamomile, 3 to 6 milligrams of melatonin, half dropper, full dropper, and then 25 to 50 milligrams of full spectrum CBD. 1,500 milligrams of CBD in a full bottle here. Nobody else is going to give you that deal. Nobody else is going to give you that offer because they can't. Because anybody else doing a show, if they, let's say they wanted a CBD sponsor, they would have to go find one. And the one they would find would say, look, we're going to give you 7 to 15% affiliate code, and you're going to sell them the CBD with melatonin for $60. I'm not selling you this for $60. I'm selling you this for $37.95. Use code CBD to get an additional 20% off. I am showering you with discounts. If you need a product to help you sleep, if you're somebody that takes a cough syrup, if you're somebody that takes, a Benadryl, stuff like this, not for the actual cause, but for what you shouldn't use it for, to go to sleep, get off the Vicks, switch to this Dreamwave PM Blend, full spectrum CBD with blue chamomile and melatonin, and that's at $37.95. I've also got the emulsified CBD. That's the Ultra Green Nano CBD. I'm going to take a little sip of water. Speak of the devil. Well, I say speak of the devil because Ultra Green Nano CBD is water soluble. It's emulsified within a lectin layer that makes it pass through the blood-brain barrier, all of these things, get into all your various cells, connective tissue, everything. Because here's the thing. I made both Ultra Chill, which has CO2 extract ginger root in it, and Dreamwave with the CO2 extract blue chamomile in it, because they need to taste amazing in order for you to actually be able to use them properly. Because in order to take an oil-based CBD properly, you got to leave it under your tongue for at least 15 minutes. I prefer a half hour. So what I'll do, and what I recommend you do as well when you want to try this out, is you go to jonescbd.com, you buy the Dreamwave PM. Once it gets to you, and like I said, or like someone else has said, excuse me, not like I said, somebody else said, the fulfillment center is amazing. My lion's mane's already on its way, and we're going to talk about the lion's mane. You get it shipped to you, you brush your teeth, you wash your mouth out, you put it under your tongue, take just a tiny little sip of water, go lie down in bed. It's going to taste like you just drank a cup of your grandma's favorite, sleepy time, sick time tea. It'll be chamomile tea, but even better, it even tastes like blueberries because it's blue. That's what my roommate said, and I totally agree with him. It does taste like blueberry muffin. So I've got that all available. I've got the Ultra Chill as well. The Ultra Chill thing you got to keep in mind, this is the formula my dad asked me to create for him. It has his 2 favorite nootropics in it. It's got ashwagandha, 200 milligrams per ml, and then it's got theobromine in it, which is the cacao flavonoid, and it's superior to caffeine. Caffeine is like a 9-hour half-life. This has like a 12-hour half-life. Bioavailability is good. The focus is good. No crash, no jitter, no letdown, all that standard stuff combined with CBD plus CBG, which modulates the full spectrum CBD and all the other cannabinoids included because all these things are full spectrum. This is rocket fuel. I got rocket fuel. I got superior coolant, like a recovery agent here. And then I've got the real big kahuna for absorption, for inflammatory stuff, for antioxidant benefit. And it's all amazing. It's all there on jonescbd.com. I've got 50% off.com as well. If you're watching this, you're a classic InfoWars viewer. If you're one of those folks out there, I've got reformulated under a new label, under 50% off label. I've got knockout sleep support from 50% off.com. Nobody else has this. Nobody else is going to be able to give you this. I added magnesium to it. It's got a whole bunch of ingredients: valerian, L-tryptophan, melatonin, lemon balm leaf, chamomile, blue chamomile now, magnesium, GABA, L-theanine, so many other bioflavonoids within these different extracts and roots and whatnot. I mean, this is just tried and tested, the thing people have loved for generations. If you're drug tested, if you want something a little more mild than the CBD, because the CBD is rocket fuel, it will put you to sleep. It will knock you out. You want to take knockout, ironically, if you want something a little bit easier. Now, all these things are non-drowsy, non-habit forming. Obviously, do not operate heavy machinery and take these products. When I say they're non-drowsy, I just mean it's not going to make you feel sick when you go to sleep. It's just going to make you feel good. And you're going to fall asleep naturally instead of getting pulled into that sleep. Here's the thing. Melatonin helps modulate your sleep cycle, helps modulate light sleep, deep sleep, and REM sleep. I think melatonin is very important. We're going to watch Leo Longevity video on that very soon on the show at some point this week, and I'm going to turn into ads as well. It's important. I got to make a note of that. Turn melatonin video into ads. Because you guys need to know about this. Melatonin, such a powerful antioxidant. All of its metabolites are antioxidants as well. I mean, it's just nuclear level strength. And think about it. When you're lying in bed, when you're asleep, what happens to the water and stuff? It kind of sits to you in those areas like a bladder and whatnot. And this is very protective against certain things like that. So you're definitely going to want to do your own research and look into it. Melatonin, in my opinion, is the thing that everybody needs to be on. Everybody, if they tolerate it well, needs to take. I've also got a whole lineup of supplements here. I've got the Brain Force Plus. If you want a classic, if you want a relic, when this is gone, it's truly gone. I own some of this inventory. It's old. Once it's gone, it's gone. If you want to buy it from me, I've got it available. Brain Force Plus, classic nootropic blend, loved for decades, kept the lights on at InfoWars. I mean, look, these two products, the reason why I sell them, and just the reason why I do all this in general, is because it broke my heart when they took InfoWars away from us. And a lot of people think that they took InfoWars away when they shut us down recently. No. They took InfoWars away in like the early 2020s with the COVID and the shutdowns and all of it and the bankruptcy, okay? And we didn't have our own products anymore, didn't have our own warehouse anymore, didn't have our own formulation anymore. It really broke my heart, okay? So I wanted to do the similar thing in the same type of spirit. You even see the website's kind of similar, just kind of classic design. I've got so many amazing things on here for you guys to check out. It's not just supplements as well. I've got oral care. If you guys are interested, if you've been looking for it, if you're buying this toothpaste or a type of this toothpaste from drjonesnaturals.com, do not buy it from them. Buy it from me. They promised to let me be their fulfillment center, and they cut and run on me within 4 months. And I've been in the red for like 4 months, 5 months because of them. And I blame them for it now. I do. And I've come full circle on that because I'm too nice. I'm too accepting when people attack me, when people disrespect me. I'm done treating myself like that. I'm done living that way. But if you're buying from them, you really should be buying from me. If you are a Dr. Jones Naturals customer out there, you should be buying from me because my granddad sold that company and he gets kickback, residual, whatever. I think so at least. But when you're buying from him thinking, hey, this money's going in Dr. Jones's pocket, it's not. All right. If you want to support me, if you want to support my family, if you want to support the shows that I'm doing, if you want to put gas in my car so that I can go and see grandpa down in South Austin like I do every single day, by the way, I take Rupert down there every single day, then I want you to go to 50percentoff.com and I want you to find 1 item, 2 items, 3 items, however many items you're interested in. I want you to put it in the cart and I want you to buy. And look at that. $89 for 3 of them. All right, let's do the math. Let's do the math on that. That's an incredible deal, folks. I'd never rob you. I'd never rip you off. I'd never e-bag. I'd never ask you for something without, giving something in exchange. I don't do that. We don't do that. We're not grifters. We're businessmen. We're Americans. We support the country. We support American employment, American jobs. So if you guys want to honor the old spirit InfoWars, I would just check out any one of these sites. I will say Shroom Force is super important. If you're interested specifically in the Ultimate Drive Pack, everyone loves ashwagandha, or not ashwagandha. Everyone loves cordyceps. Everyone loves lion's mane. Cordyceps is kind of the physical enhancement side of things. Lion's mane is kind of the mental enhancement. Lion's mane increases brain-derived neurotrophic factor, helps you learn new habits, neuroplasticity. Cordyceps increases cellular energy. It also increases VO2 max, oxygen carrying capacity, all this stuff. If you're taking a mushroom coffee and you want those physical and mental benefits, let me tell you right now, this product is going to be superior to most mushroom coffees that you're going to take. Nearly all of them, by the way. Why? Because I don't have a label dressing BS amount on here. Okay, and I've met all the big manufacturers, big formulators. I know how the game is played. I don't play that shit. I don't do that shit. That's why my niche is budget premium. I have the absolute best, the highest dosed, highest quality generic formulas for you. These are all standardized 4-to-1 extracts, the best, what you want. This is a month's supply of 1.2 grams of lion's mane and 1 gram of cordyceps every day. And then it's a 2-month supply. If you're taking 1 cap, that's 500 milligram cordyceps, 600 milligram lion's mane. Nobody has a deal like that for you. If they do have a deal like that for you, I'd like to see it online. I'd like to see it with a discount code as well. I'll match it. I'll beat it. I'll do whatever I need to. Whatever I have to, whatever I need to do to convince you that I have the best supplement products in the world, I will do it. I want to show you everything I have because I'm proud of this. This is what I do. This is what I'll be working on all day. And it's really hard to pay rent in Trump's America. So I've got the stores. Want to do a little impassioned plug there. And I want to remind everybody, everyone needs melatonin. A lot of people take CBD. Go to Jones CBD, Dreamwave PM blend, 50percentoff.com, 50% off. Great name, easy to remember, 50% off. Shroomforce.com. I'm bad at saying it. And that's the thing. And all right, I'll come back to reality here. I'll come back to reality and we'll talk a little bit. So growing up, I would get so mad at myself. I would crash out because I would tape all these like taped reports in the American Journal studio, right? And I'm trying to find the next news thing. 1 second. So I would do all these tape things in the American Journal studio, and I would get so mad. And whether it was Dew filming me, whether it was Zimmerman filming me, whether it was CJ or anybody, I would crash out. I would curse. I would do like 18 different takes. I would be like, this is the problem with what's happening in America. And like, that's where a lot of my swearing issue comes from, is just like, that is a negative thing about growing up in that office, right? I definitely did learn bad behavior there in that respect, at least. So coming into things now, when I do it live, it's so much easier to do things live because it's like a fight. It's like a marathon or like a sprint or whatever. Like, I don't get to take a break. I don't get to pause. Like, I'm here with you, engaged right now. No dead air ever, period, full stop. And I like that. But now I'm realizing that the tape medium is really so much more effective for the clipping that I'm going to have to start doing it. So you guys are going to see a lot more short form video from me. You guys are going to see a lot more like 3 to 8 minute videos from me. And that comes together, putting the source list together and the website together and all of it. So when you support the products, when you support the show, when you support the things I'm doing, this is going to be a really cool platform in like 6 months. Same with Gray Area, same with all of it, right? But to do that, I do need your support. And that's why when people say nepotism, when people say grifter, when people say, whatever, I laugh in their face and I'm like, how is what I do wrong? Explain to me. Well, you sell snake oil. Actually, it's top rated stuff that works and it's sold at Whole Foods. And like we've been selling it for decades and decades and everybody loves it and always buys more. Why are they buying more if it's so evil? Well, it doesn't actually do anything. Oh, we got the studies right here, blah, blah, blah. Well, you shouldn't be allowed to do business because I don't agree with your politics. There we go. There's the truth, right? And that's why what happened to us is so key. That's why me continuing to do it in the spirit of like being a businessman, being an American patriot is so important. That's why you guys buying the products is so important, is they don't want you to have the ability to buy or sell. Okay. And that's the mark of the beast system. That's literally what it is. If you're not a part of the faceless, nameless, soulless corporation, if you're not buying from the white label drug dealer, if you're not buying from the re-rocker, if you're not buying the re-rock cocaine and then distributing it to people, then, the mafia is going to take you out of business because we don't want that pure shit on the street. And that's kind of what we were. That's kind of how we got treated. We're just pure independent operation, not beholden to anybody, no big mega donor, no Cenk Uygur mega donor, no Gawker mega donor, no Vice Media mega donor, no Daily Wire mega donor. Just people taking care of us because they like the show. Someone goes, someone donated $7 million in Bitcoin to y'all free of charge because he loved the program. And there's plenty of real rich people out there that actually support the show. And they don't have to buy it. They can just give us a Bitcoin gift. Notice how none of these other people operate that way. They're in a loss leader company that fails year over year over year because its product is propaganda. Its product is a lie. Its product is to sell you on a narrative. And that's why when you see a grifting podcaster read a code, that's more honest. Because each just it's like, I just want to make some money. These people that do these shows, it's not even about the money for them. They know they're engaged in propaganda. And that's what's crazy. So what we are on the complete opposite side of the spectrum is a completely viewer-supported, listener-funded operation that does not move unless you guys are happy. So if you guys are happy with what we're doing right now, Alex Jones Network, my shows, Gray Area, American Journal, y'all get to choose to support us. And if you don't choose to support us, then we probably go off the air. Notice how that hasn't happened because you guys are awesome and you guys support the shows, period. And that's a beautiful thing. They get mad at that because that's an alternate system that they don't control. That's outside of their control grid. So they come after us. They sue us. They try to shut us down. It was never about fucking dead kids. Fucking dead kids in 2012. Whatever. Who cares? Who cares? I don't care. When we got, hundreds of thousands of dead little kids and women in Gaza and Lebanon, and everyone on the news media lies and says that shit doesn't happen. I don't give a fuck about Sandy Hook because you guys don't give a fuck about Gaza. And how are we supposed to be sued for $1 billion for saying that something apparently allegedly didn't happen, but then Jesse Waters can go on TV and say we didn't bomb that school? And the Iranian people, the Iranian government, they can never sue him. The parents of the dead kids, they can't sue him because it's a fucking double standard. And because the lawyers are like, it's pro bono, we got to work for the families to get justice. They're doing this. It's all about the money. They raised $300 million off my dad's name. And they want to tell me that I can't sell you something I created with my own hands, that I ship with my own hands. They tell me that I'm the criminal. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting, folks? And if you want to support jonescbd.com, it truly is the best product in the galaxy. But yeah, it's a double standard. It's hypocrisy. It's arrogance, thinking that they're going to get away with treating the public and treating us like this forever. Spoiler alert, not going to happen, pimp. But let's see what other news I got. I got a couple good ones here. I got the Tucklet. I got TC, Tucker Carlson. I got the quarter. Oh, all right, we'll talk about this. Okay. So genuinely, and anybody that I've debated or argued with on stream, anything like this, I wish them the best. I want them to figure out their life. We're all created by God. I want everybody to be okay. I want him to live long, live well, be healthy, all of it. What's going on here? Because he had a post, and let me see if I can find the post actually. He's like, it's a toxic cesspool. People are attacking me. Well, maybe don't copyright strike people illegally, bro. Maybe don't strike somebody's clip channel down where they're making all their revenue off of clipping a show that doesn't involve you. The Kino Casino is commentary on yo fat ass. Okay? You don't own commentary on yo fat ass. The only thing you own is yo fat ass. So when somebody's abiding by fair use, and when somebody's actually doing the things they're supposed to be doing in the digital marketplace, and you come around and shut them down, you're damn right people are going to get on your case and start investigating you. So he said his big thing, when he came on the show, his big thing is he said, I don't do politics on X. Everything I say on X is a joke. It's not to be taken seriously. LOL, I win. Via being a nebulous, amorphous blob who cannot be touched. It's a very common thing with these guys. It's very, very interesting. It's like, I don't have a position. I don't have a position. I have an iron position. You don't get to do that. You're lying about your position is what you're doing. But he comes on. He says, all the presidents have always been bad. No positive future, blah, blah, blah. Everything I've said on Twitter is a joke. He said, glass are on, bury them all, take the oil, move on, blah, 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 laughing at the gas prices. But none of that is actual serious political speech. It's all a ha-ha joke, and you have to read his mind to get it. So that didn't work out, and he got off of X. Maybe he'll be on Blue Sky or Threads or something. And we wish him well. As Tim Dillon says, wish him well, wish him the best. It's a rough ecosystem, and we got to have compassion for people. So, hold on. Oh, I'll get copyright strike for playing it. That sucks. I was going to play My Way by Frank Sinatra, but it is what it is. Okay, let's get into this. So this piqued my interest. Tucker Carlson. I told Trump, Netanyahu hates you, Rupert Murdoch, Ben Shapiro, Mark Levin, they all hate you. People pushing him into this war want to destroy him on behalf of Israel. And all he said was, yeah, I know. I believe it.
I said, look,
I 100% believe it. Totally buy it.
I said, look, Netanyahu hates you. You know that. They don't like each other at all. The people pushing you toward this would include Rupert Murdoch, who despises you. Trump knows that, of course. Mark Thiessen has always hated you. Ben Shapiro, they hate you. Mark Levin hates you, has always hated you.
Yes.
The people pushing you to, I said this right to his face, the people pushing you to do this want to destroy you, and they're doing it on behalf of Israel, whose goals include getting the United States out of the Middle East. They don't want the U.S. in the Gulf because it strengthens the Gulf.
They don't like our
state.
friendships there.
They don't like our friendships there at all because Qatar and UAE and Saudi, but also Bahrain, Oman, and Kuwait, but mainly those three countries are a massive rival to regional hegemony. You can't run the Middle East with strong Gulf states. And so they want the U.S. out. Israel wants the U.S. out of the Middle East, and they want to degrade those Gulf states. And I said that right to his face. And he said, yeah, I know.
I want to play that one more time.
I said, look, Netanyahu hates you. You know that. They don't like each other at all. The people pushing you toward this would include Rupert Murdoch, who despises you. Trump knows that, of course. Mark Thiessen has always hated you. Ben Shapiro, they hate you. Mark Levin hates you, has always hated you.
Yes.
The people pushing you to, I said this right to his face, the people pushing you to do this want to destroy you, and they're doing it on behalf of Israel, whose goals.
Okay, so we all know that's true, and that does, like, to me, I totally buy that as Trump's response. Like, he just kind of shrugs his shoulders and is like, yeah, I'm raped. It is what it is. And, you know, Tucker, I would think that Trump at least at one point would have classified Tucker as a genuine friend. So it does suck. I'm getting something prepped here, guys. Getting something prepped. 1 second. I want you to check this out. Does that look organic to you? Notice the red line is my dad in 9/11, right? Frequent topic of the show. And the blue line is my dad in Sandy Hook. Oh, there's a little blip. All right, it's the biggest conspiracy theory on the internet. It's 2012. Everyone's going crazy. We weren't the only ones to cover it. All right. Our biggest time period, the time period cited, 2015 to 2018, where all the revenue came in, right? Didn't talk about it at all because we were talking about Trump. If you want to talk about grifting, talk about Trump. Don't talk about Sandy Hook. Look at this. This is when they publish tens of thousands of articles overnight. Alex Jones, Sandy Hook, Alex Jones, Sandy Hook, Alex Jones, Sandy Hook, because they ran the autopsy on the Clinton campaign, and it was decided that my dad must be punished. So all of it is inorganic outrage. All of it is manufactured. They manufactured consent within the population. They said, look at this guy. He lied about the dead kids. And because he lied about the dead kids, he's got to have his business taken away. He's got to lose his First Amendment rights. He has to be punished. Do you get to punish people like this in civil court? No. No, you don't. It's illegal. Really, really crazy. But not for us, because we're the mean, evil monsters. So, you know, man, I know I got Peanut Gallery in here. Shout out to you. I do the show just for you. You know what? If this is what you're mad at, because you were saying, oh, he did it to get all the views and whatever, then what did these people do? What did the Sandy Hook lawyers do? What did the media companies do that profited off of the pain? You know, they were the ones that enlarged this story. They were the ones that made it big. We didn't. It was you guys. It's always been you guys. So just take a little look at that. You know, take a little look and see. Look how massive that is. That's not us. That's them. All right. When I say them, I mean the law firms. So law firms, media companies, people that organized the campaign to take us down, to chop my father's legs off. And hey, you know, people will defend that and they'll say, I want Alex Jones in a debtor's prison. I want him to be executed. All things that I've either been told or saw online. Okay. And you can't tell me that I haven't seen it or I haven't heard it or I haven't been spat in the face of, because I have. So you jelly bellies who don't know anything about our reality want to waltz on in here and talk shit about my dad. You have no idea what it's like to actually be in a fight, be in a fight for what you care about. You're just, you know, a turd in the wind. And I would just ask to the turd in the wind, how'd you end up here? How'd you end up on my stream, hating on my dad? You know, maybe you were psyoped. Maybe you should be willing to look at your position and wake up. I've watched the People versus Alex Jones. I've watched the entire trial. I've watched Knowledge Fight. I still have my positions because as imperfect as my father is, he's a good man. And he had the right to do what he did, even though you may hate it. So re-examine your positions, read the Constitution again, read the Bill of Rights, read about free speech and all that and the important tenets of, you know, our country, our land, and realize that in 2018, we were used as a test case, we're deplatformed, and then this giant monolith of what we were, this fake monolith of articles about the Sandy Hook stuff was erected while we're off YouTube, off Facebook, off Twitter, off Instagram. We have no voice to defend ourselves, and this happens. This is where the ban happens. This is where the freaking thing happens, man. So, like, what do you want to think? It's before the ban, actually. Look at the big spike here. So, like, this is all us getting sued, us getting attacked. And that's when the articles come out. Seems not accidental. Seems to be on purpose, maybe a little bit planned. It's not the innocent Rocky Balboa fighting the Ivan Drago. Okay, it's not your Star Wars narrative, just like you probably believe the same thing about Ukraine. Denounce Ukraine right now. I demand, I know Peanut Gallery's in here, denounce Ukraine. I want you to denounce Ukraine because you're the moral arbiter of everything, right? Denounce the neo-Nazis. Oh, no, but they're not. I like, no. The liberal cope is just, it's like classic vanilla, you know, and this new stuff is like chocolate or like Rocky Road, like the new like MAGA type of thing we're going to war against. But the liberal hate, it really just ignites me and fuels me forward. These people literally don't think we have the right to do business. He doesn't think I have the right to sell this to people. He thinks that I should be shut down. You can say, oh, I don't think that. You advocate for a system that would do the same thing to me that it did to my father. So yes, you do actually think that I shouldn't be able to sell these things. And I do sell them, by the way. And if you want to defeat the enemies, you can go to jonescbd.com. You get Ultra Chill, you get Ultra Green, you get Dreamwave PM. Because here's the thing. I should have had an inheritance. I should have had a trust fund. I should have had all these things. I don't have jack shit. I got bills, I got rent, I got blood money that I got to pay. Period. Trump is raping my ass right now, just like he's raping everybody's ass as a small business person. Okay? So when you come in here and outside of that system, you tell me I don't have the right to do business, period, and that we're all corrupt grifters, fuck you. Seriously. Just go find another show to watch, man. Or you can stay here with me. I'm happy to do it all day. But I know the other people don't like it. I know Anthony doesn't like it specifically. So I'll go ahead and get back to the news. I want to play Massey on spending, or not Massey on spending. I want to show Massey on spending. I want people to understand this is the type of stuff, not the petty social politic, that outrages me, that pisses me off. This is the reason why my bills are so fucked. U.S. debt to GDP ratio climbed steadily from 60% in 2008 to 100% in 2019. Then it shot up from 100% to 120% during COVID due to the ridiculous government spending and shutdowns. It's now ticking ominously upward again because Washington, D.C. refuses to cut spending. They inflate our money, they put us in debt, and they tell us that we can't do business. This is not a legitimate government. The government system, the judicial system, the court system that hanged us, that kangaroo courted us, that railroaded us is the same governmental system that does this type of shit. And it's all invalid. It all needs to be reformed. We have to have our rights protected. We fought a war over 2% taxes. What is this shit? Excuse me. Apologize there. That's outrageous, folks. We're not going to abide by that anymore. And that's why, honestly, I talked about buying my products and whatnot. Donate to Thomas Massey. Like, if you're going to do anything right now, give Thomas Massey some support. I don't know. Like, it's the final week. Here's the final ad. This is what I was looking for. I'll go ahead and play this.
This is home. It always has been, and it always will be. It's where I grew up. It's where I met Rhonda. It's the place that taught us both the lessons that we need to head out into the world. Kentucky is the place that welcomed us back to raise our own family after we realized there's no place like it. There are little towns like this all over the district, and it's an honor to be the one you've entrusted to fight for and represent you in Washington. If you told me as a kid that I'd been the one that got to do it, I'd have never believed you. But now, I can't even imagine not being the one who got to do it. So thank you for the greatest honor imaginable. It's beyond humbling you've trusted me. Our nation and Kentucky have enormous challenges and problems. But after every visit back home to Kentucky, and talking with you and holding my grandchildren, I'm more renewed than ever to keep fighting. I'm Thomas Massey, and I approve this message. And if you'd like...
So you notice how it's all apolitical. Of course, it's the final week. He just wants people to have like a friendly perception and when they go to the polls, whatever, right? And we still live in a country where even he, when he does his political campaign, he's got to say, hey, I voted with Trump most of the time. Like, I'm a Trump guy. I'm a Trump guy. It's so sad how low propensity a lot of the voters are in the country. Like, this is our guy. This guy is awesome. Like, I love him. And, you know, I may not agree with all his political positions, but when was the last time we had somebody stand up against the pedophiles and the spending? Ron Paul, maybe? Certainly not Rand. Like, this is about as good as we're going to get for now. I want another dark horse candidate to emerge for 2028 that'll be even better than this. But here's the thing. We need this guy in Congress. Without this guy in Congress, we lose a big portion of our voice. And it does show, like we talk to people like Jose Vega, talk to people like Fishback, whatever. When you're able to get into government, one guy can make a tremendous difference just by having the microphone and the authority of the country behind him, and just by being elected, by being a representative. I really do think that you do have to support Massey regardless of any kind of like personal beefs you have with him. I'm not a fan of his immigration position, really not a fan of that. But at the end of the day, if you call it a genocide, if you call him the Epstein class, you can get me on board, you know, at least for a little bit of compromise there. And we can work out these other things after we stop murdering people, after we stop raping the little kids. You know, that would be nice. But I believe in him. I support him. I think his heart's in the right place. I would say Marjorie Taylor Greene, I think she's going to probably be the nominee. Just on the basis of like leaving politics. I think that's going to make her very Trumpian. I think that's going to make her very popular in 2018 or not 2018, 2028. I'm Jake Shields now. Jake Shields also said 2018, referring to 2028. But check this out. This is more of what we voted for, more of the wins. You know, Andrew Wilson's telling us it's better than Democrats. Breaking. The statute of limitations for indicting Dr. Fauci for allegedly lying under oath, he blatantly lied under oath, it's all on record, will expire today with no arrests expected. Notice how nobody ever gets in trouble. Here's the problem. I told people that if they wore a mask, they could get schmutz on their face, and then they rub it in the eye or the mouth or whatever, and they get sick. That didn't look too good when I said that you have to wear the mask or you're going to kill grandma. So we're living in a world now where Biden pardoned me, and I'm kind of sitting in limbo here waiting for the statute of limitations to expire. And, me and Trump are original pals, and I knew he wouldn't come after me, but I am incredibly grateful I didn't even get looked at. I'm Dr. Anthony Fauci. I'm in charge. I tell you what to do. I run your healthcare system. I mandate that 80 million Americans get vaccinated without their consent or approval. I get you kicked out of the military if you don't want to take my shot. I experiment on beagles and put flesh-eating mites in the faces and make them suffer and die in pain. I am the cute guy that Biden brought out. I threw the first pitch at an Orioles World Series game. I'm Dr. Fauci. I would highly recommend that you guys read RFK's book or listen to it as I did. It's a 36-hour audiobook. Not sure how many pages, but definitely on the wrong side of 500. Probably nearing 1,000. Let me look that up, actually. The Real Anthony Fauci book. Oh, okay. All right. It's only 480 pages. It must be really small print. I highly recommend you listen to that and you learn everything about this guy. This guy, before he was the grandma killer, was the gay killer. All right. This guy killed so many people that had HIV that progressed into AIDS by giving them remdesivir, which is toxic for multiple organs on record and causing their bodies to shut down. He is the bad guy in the Dallas Buyers Club movie. He's literally a supervillain. He is a movie supervillain who kills grandma and gay people. And suddenly, somehow, and a Trump appointee, he kills the gay people. He kills the grandma. He's a Trump appointee. And the liberals love him. They love Anthony Fauci, even to this day. Don't criticize Anthony Fauci. I will drop a cipher. I will drop a cipher immediately on Anthony Fauci. This is a very sick, disturbed man. Incredibly sick and disturbed. And anyone that would experiment on dogs in the way that he did and laugh it off, that's a real problem. And we shouldn't have people like that doing medical policy for the country. But notice how rules for thee, rules for me, or rules for thee, me, not, what is it? Rules for thee, not for me. Excuse me. That's the core principle that we always see here. Will you take him out at some point, Jack? Sorry. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Oh, yeah, Cash Patel. Oh, dude, I ate it, bro. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have eaten his bread. I apologize to the 2,400 viewers. I fucked up. I ate my roommate's white bread that he bought at HEB. I had a little glyphosate power meal last night. It was, Jack, no, it was a glyphosate power meal because I had this cereal as well. Yeah. So Cash Patel is in love with AI. He's fallen in love with AI. He thinks it's the most incredible thing in the world. It can replace all jobs. It can do anything and everything. These are the people implementing the control grids around us, folks. Like, this is the new ruling class. It's a guy with challenge coins. It gets crunk with the Olympians. And honestly, I say this on a lot of streams. People get mad at me. Cash Patel is the most American out of anybody in the administration because he understands it's fun to get fucked up and have a good time. Who cares? All the other ones like Pete Hegseth, Rubio, J.D. Vance, they got to stick up their ass. Trump doesn't know where he is anymore. He's half asleep and all of that. Cash Patel is using the private jet that he said, oh, Chris Wray used a private jet. This is just an example. He's like, in his run to get appointed, in his like podcast campaign to get appointed, he would always point out how Chris Wray would use the FBI private jet to like go wherever. Cash Patel uses the private jet to go hang out with his shoddy. Cash Patel uses private jet to go to the Olympics and get a gold medal and drink beers. Cash Patel uses private jet to go hang out with the boys. it's illegal, it's corrupt, it's immoral, it's wrong, but the entire government is. So at least the guy having fun is the guy having fun. What's wrong with that? Absolutely nothing. What's wrong with it is the people that appointed him and put him in power. And that's why the classic excuse, and I heard this from Andrew Wilson and the Quartering, and Rylan, by the way, who I debated on Twitter Spaces, they will say, "Oh, I don't like that Trump appointee." Like the Quartering said he didn't like JD. I believe Andrew Wilson laughed at Bondi, and I think laughed at Rubio, but I'm not sure on that. But he definitely laughed about Bondi. And Rylan definitely he was the one that talked about Rubio, and they're all like, they're bad appointees. Trump is he doesn't know what he's doing. He's going to get the right team. The team's looking into it. Investigations take time. So it's the team's fault. It's bad members of the team, whatever. Okay, we all know that's a lie, because who's the coach? Who's the captain of the team? It's supposed to be Trump, but apparently he can't do anything. Maybe that's because the real coach of the team is Netanyahu. Netanyahu owns the team. That's a better analogy. That is the analogy. You could think about the executive branch like a football team. You could think about the appointees, both middle and high level, cabinet appointees, and just general bureaucracy as the players on the field. You could think about Trump as the coach, and you could think about Netanyahu as the owner of the sports team and the whole franchise and the field and the court and the entire world. That's how you could look at it. That's a good analogy. I want to get that in cartoon form. So that's the best way to explain it to people, because people will say, "Oh, well, it's just Trump's fault because he's not making the people do whatever. Oh, it's just the people's fault because they're not doing what Trump says. The quarterback ain't running the way the coach wanted to run." Well, that's because the owner of the team bought a quarterback with ALS. He bought a quarterback with polio who can't run, who can't walk. He bought defensive linemen who were 110 pounds. So it's a system that's engineered and set up for failure. And you have the figurehead there, like I always say, the manager of the Burger King, the coach of the sports team, the fall guy there to take the blame when the real blame belongs with the owner of the franchise. And of course, we know that to be Benjamin Netanyahu. Now, how are we doing, guys? I'll read some chats. Oh, he just took his Shroom Force. Anthony takes the the Ultimate Drive Pack, which is the Cordyceps and the Lion's Mane from shroomforce.com. What's that? Oh, is he there? He's right there. He's not moving. I didn't realize. Yeah, come here, buddy. It's okay, Rupert. Come on. He's a good boy. Want food? Who's a good man? Come on. Come on. Oh, I'm sorry. Was I being loud? Did I scare you? I didn't know you were in here. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Rupert, come here. Come here for a second. I'm going to show people the dog really quick. He's a good boy. He's a good man's. It's my little angel Roo. It's my little duck tiger. When you guys buy supplements, it literally goes to his dog food, goes to his treats, goes to everything. It's how I feed myself. It's how I feed him. It's my life. People don't think I should have my life. Think that we don't deserve it or something. But I think we do. Oh, is Rupert blocked by the comment here? Thanks, Jack. Sorry about that. Appreciate you. Rupert's gonna go for a little fun time. I love my dog. Just saw an 18-year-old inmates. We'll do a little Twitter scroll for a while because I'm tired. We'll take calls here in a second. We're going to go to y'all's calls after 10 a.m. I'm going to set up call-in studio. We're going to hang out together. Get ready for that, by the way. Get ready for call-ins if you guys want to call in. Just saw an 18-year-old inmate's diary page. Says he's out in 2 weeks. He and his crew are grinning, flashing shanks, and hitting K2 like it's a victory lap. Yeah, K2's not good. That's not good. Oh, I saw this. Just another example of the Ukrainian scum. A Ukrainian businessman living in the U.S. threw a coconut-sized rock at one of the rarest marine mammals on Earth, Igor Litvinchuk. I think that's how you say it. Litvinchuk was visiting Hawaii last week when he was captured on video throwing stones at an endangered Hawaiian monk seal named Lonnie, who is well known in the area. He is reportedly dismissed concerned bystanders, stating, "I don't care, I'm rich, find me, I could pay for it." Find this guy when he's doing this, and this is me defending the animal. This is a self-defense scenario, citizen's arrest type of thing. I would front kick him in his lower back. I would make it so he had some spinal pain forever, and maybe do it to one of his legs too, and maybe step on it and not let go. But it's really disgusting. People that abuse animals like this, that do things like this. It's a beautiful, majestic creature created by God. This is a evil little Eastern European thug who really should be having a dirt nap right now. But he's got money, and he can abuse the animals all he wants, I guess. And I'm gonna go ahead and stop playing because it's mean. And the seal's gonna be all right, but now the seal doesn't trust humans because of this retarded faggot. What a scumbag. What an absolute scumbag this guy is. Makes me so mad. Damn. Makes me almost as mad as the IDF stuff and the Netanyahu stuff and the genocide stuff. Just seeing that, just the arrogance of it, of thinking that you have the right. I don't even want to look at it again. It's fucking horrible. Wow. Slava Ukraine, right? More great Ukrainians. Oh. So they cut it. So they're saying that Barry Weiss's CBS, they edited the Netanyahu clip. Now, I'm not watching double versions. I don't care. Y'all can watch it if you want to. We already played him saying that we're going to send the Americans in, basically paraphrasing what Netanyahu said. He said, we are going to make a decision, talking about our military, because they don't do ground invasion. They bomb, they carpet bomb. The Israeli method of war is they turn the place into the parking lot and they bring the tanks in and they run over the little children. And then they set up like fake aid centers where they shoot people trying to get the food. I have talked to people who were in Gaza who have witnessed these things and can attest to their veracity. Okay, so it's not just a guy saying, "Oh, you saw a CGI video, bro." I interviewed Anthony Aguilar. I had him on my show. Talked about all of it. Talked about the plans for the Trump golf course on top of the Gaza cemetery. Okay, so you can't run from that, can't hide from that. That's the reality. All right. That's what we did. It's so disgusting, man. Really pisses me off. I want to hear people talk about that too. Yes. I'll give a plug here. Look, if you guys want the highest quality beef tallow around, you got to go to theungovernableproject.com. I'm going to do a little plug here because he's not with me here today. But if you're going to cook with stuff, this lasts you such a long time. It's such a phenomenal product. He's got it available. But he's got the skincare stuff that I really love. He just gave me more of the Wiseman's gift. This has real frankincense, real myrrh. You rub it into your skin, it absorbs. It makes your whole body actually smell like the thing. So very, very cool. I actually had to turn down the green screen settings because it made my head shiny because I put it on this morning. But yes, very cool. We love Anthony. Go support him. Go follow him on X. If you don't follow Anthony or Graffinati19 on X, you're going to want to go ahead and do that. Great guy. Great guy. Paulo Costa. Dear guests, your server is not a volunteer. They don't work for free, so we don't serve for free. Your bill, their pay, 20% tip. Everywhere they got this iPad. And whether you're buying like a cigarette lighter or whether you're buying God knows what or gosh knows what, whatever you're buying, they'll ask you for a tip. And the lowest option for the tip will be like 20%. It'll be like 22, 25, 30%. And you're just like, well, you're not paying your people. I'm sure this goes into a collective fund that the restaurant steals and they like apportion it out, but they probably have like shadow people or not. Allegedly, I don't know anything about this place. I don't know where this place is or who runs it, but it's all a scam. It's all a lie. And give them cash, give the servers cash, give the waitress or waiter cash money. If you're going to tip them, give them some bills. All right. Don't give them electronic payment. That's all bullshit. They're going to steal it. Not the server's going to steal it. The restaurant's going to steal it. So that's a giant scam. Yeah, exactly. I always hit no tip. Based. I will always tip a waitress who waited on me, not a fast food restaurant. Totally correct. 100%. And when we tip on the New American Journal, when we tip cash. We don't tip credit, period. So give them a bill, give them a Jefferson, give them Andrew Jackson if they did a good job. You know, if it was a huge meal or something, give them a grant. You know, I think it's pretty hard to get a Benjamin, you know, unless you're pretty hot, unless you're like a fine biddy out there. That's a male problem. It's a male problem. But we'll go ahead and look at more of it now. They're building data centers to sustain the surveillance state. So a number of people, they have different ideas on this. I was in Chase Geyser and Box Space last night. They were talking about it being used as the new storage and running facilities for the stable coin. A lot of people are talking about the surveillance state. I've had Shane on the show before. I really like Shane. Let's watch this clip, and then I'll give you my take.
The transhumanists are people who want to defeat God in their own way, which you can't do, and live forever. And they're trying to shackle humanity to the material world.
Have a mechanical device implanted in your body, you are a cyborg, period.
You know, they've actually been developing nanotechnology that can self-assemble inside of you to put a brain chip inside.
What?
That's a child that was blind and paralyzed.
Okay. We're going to cut back to it. We'll cut back to Tim Castor, whatever. This is the key. And T-Blet, you always have amazing comments. This is another amazing comment from T-Blet. That's you covering for their inflation and their credit card processing middlemen. Literally, take a photo of that. Probably going to tweet that out later. I'll give you credit. That's everything right there. And that it really does piss me off, too. It's annoying.
And then you got offered this Neuralink technology to correct that. How on earth could you possibly say, like, no?
I've had people call into the show who are paraplegics who are very much opposed to the Neuralink.
Really? Why?
Because there's other things you can do that don't implant a microchip. You know, so there's other things that I think they call it the brain bridge. I'm so sorry for the guys who've called and told me about this. But a lot of the stuff that they sell from these tech guys, it always comes out with like it's beautiful. You're going to help people. You're going to cure seizures, you know, epilepsy. You're going to give sight to the blind. How can you say no to that? But there's always, you know, down the road, I think it's going to become part of the social credit system. It's going to become part of control and surveillance. It's going to be part of all the data centers that are being put up.
Yeah, you can't do this to people. And absolutely no chips in the brain. Like, here's the thing. If you can't walk, if you can't talk, stuff like that, if you're in a wheelchair, you're a combat veteran, you're deaf, you're blind, that you get something that can fix that. That's your decision. That's between you and God, and call it a blessing, call it a curse, whatever. That's not my position. Being able-bodied, having good vision, having good hearing, having good taste, being able to walk, run, lift, do whatever, right? So I can't really speak to that. That being said, if you think about the potential for this evil, and it's been extrapolated out over all the books of science fiction of the 18th, 19th, 20th, and 21st century. We've been talking about this forever. We understand the metaphysical reality of what a network, computer, futuristic, sci-fi magic is what it is, because you can't explain technology. You just call it magic. It's what it is. So advanced. All of it is trying to make us into the hive mind. And I think we got to reject that. The strength in humanity is our individuality as well as our community. But our community comes from the fact that we all care about each other and we're all individuals. So we don't want to get too collectivist with it.
Everywhere. I'm a very proud Luddite. OG Luddites were not anti-tech. They were anti-being replaced by mass autonomy. Original Luddites used the weavers of the day. They didn't like that there was a building being built.
And I agree. I am also kind of like a pseudo or neo-Luddite or whatever you want to call it. Like, I hate technology. Have to use it, whatever. But I don't want it to ever go farther than like, this sucks and it's a scrying mirror and it's satanic and it is what it is. But it's an interface for like, I'm looking at it, right? And I got it. And I'm like, tired of it, whatever. I throw it away. I throw it over there, right? And it just becomes a non-issue. The thing is, what happens when something's in your head and it fucking glitches? What happens when something's in your brain for 20 years and then it glitches? I mean, we talk about the wind-up toys now. We talk about Thomas Crooks now. We talk about that guy on the golf course now. We talk about all these people, Timothy McVeigh, all of them. You want to talk about like CIA creations, monsters. You don't even, dude, like, like out there listening to me, you know how bad it's going to be.
Filled with all the technology to replace them. You know, and that's how I feel. Like, obviously I like technology and using synthesizers or those microphones. It's amazing. And also Terminator 2, the greatest documentary ever made. taught you that you have to hack the machines to destroy the machines. You can opt out of the Neuralink and all that stuff. The future is with all of this stuff, technology, making you believe in this fraudulent little g god that the technocrats are building from Silicon Valley. It's all leading up to pre-crime, social credit system, all that stuff. And they don't even need to be in your brain to know how you're going to act. They're studying you through the algorithm. And that's already happening in Louisiana and the UK. They're rolling out pre-crime units.
But the ultimate conclusion is they will sell it to you as crime. But what happens when you are just deviant? When Shane Cashman says, I need to go hold a rally and speak to the people about the dangers. And then as he's walking there, a drone comes and grabs him and says, we've detected deviant behavior. Issues an alert saying that Shane was going to rape a woman when it's completely fake. But trust me. And everyone says, well, the AI doesn't lie. It only detects criminal behavior. So why wouldn't it have stopped
I don't even think they're going to have to make that kind of a leap yet. I think they're going to find a way to redefine violent speech by saying at some point, probably soon, that being critical of AI is domestic terrorism. And I'm saying this because Peter.
And look, he's 100% correct. It's all protected by the military. The reason why they're building that big one in Utah right now, it would have taken 5 years for them to get approval because it's a matter of national security and it's a military operation. The military is involved. They got the approval in under 6 months. So he's dead on accurate.
Thiel is saying right now all over the world in his Antichrist talks that people who criticize AI these are his words, legionnaires of the Antichrist, right? And Sam Altman's getting attacked with Molotov cocktails. I am totally against violence, but I think it's going to lead to a place where you become critical of AI. They will try to shut you down, censor you off the things. And then if the social credit system is actually implemented, which is we kind of already have it, they will find a way to take society.
I guarantee you, bro. You're going to be walking out one day and someone's going to heart attack gun you, not to kill you, to give you cancer. Then you're going to get a serious cancer. And one of these guys is going to say, I know you've been very critical, but I want to save your life. And they're going to get you to go on TV and be like, thank you for saving me.
Dude, I've had that nightmare actually of like Elon paralyzing me on purpose.
All right. The Tim Pool podcast. I really like Shane. Tim Pool's a little too much of a chuckle buddy for me. I don't know, dude. I got to do him for Halloween because it's so perfect. Because all I need is a beanie, a black and gray flannel, and then a black T-shirt and a black watch, and then I'm Tim Pool. Chad Pool. I am bigger and stronger than Tim Pool, by the way. 100% accurate. Okay, that's fun. That's fun. All right, I got to do another round of plugging here, and then we're going to do call-in show. Here's the thing. I already told you about it. I won't waste your time. Dreamwave PM, 50 milligrams of CBD, 3 to 6 milligrams of melatonin, 50 to 100 milligrams of German CO2 extracted apigenin, or not apigenin, blue chamomile, which contains apigenin. This is rocket fuel for your sleep at $37.95. You're literally not going to find a better deal anywhere else for full spectrum CBD. Combined with the melatonin, that's not even mentioning that. Combined with the chamomile, not even mentioning that. Tastes amazing. Got the COA right here on the site. You guys want to see this? You guys want to see what you're taking, why you should take it, why you should feel good about taking it. All the testing data is right here. You can clearly see heavy metal analysis. All the analysis is available for you on the page as well. All the testing, everything you want to see. Look at that. Not detected, nothing toxic, nothing poisonous, just all goodness, just all herbal goodness. And I challenge you, if you're already buying CBD, if you're using it, compare my price to the price of what you're using right now. And next time you run out, or if you already run out and you haven't ordered yet again, order from me. Save money, get a higher quality product. 2 out of 3 of my products are blended with really high quality CO2 extracts. The Ultra Chill having the ginger, the CO2 extracted ginger root, and then the Dreamwave PM, of course, having the German CO2 extracted blue chamomile. I make them to take amazing because, like I always say, I'll go ahead and do it right now. I'll take the Ultra Chill. I've been waiting. I've been like, I need to go in the kitchen because I got to get mate in there. I need to go rescue it. And I should have asked Jack to get it for me, but I think he's upstairs now. So what do I have instead? Well, I may not have my traditional caffeine, but I've got something better. I've got Ultra Chill PM, or not Ultra Chill PM, Ultra Chill AM. And what Ultra Chill has in it is 200 milligrams of the highest quality. Oh, so delicious. Ashwagandha extract. It's got 66 to 88 milligrams of theobromine in it, which is like the better version of caffeine. It's the cacao chocolate version of caffeine. And it's got CBD, full spectrum, plus CBG, kind of like a mother cannabinoid to modulate and enhance the effects of the CBD, all in there together. What am I going to do? It is so delicious. I'm going to do more. And what I do, I kind of let it fill my mouth, let some of it go down, whatever. Have just a tiny little sip of water. Tiniest little sip of water. That ginger root fills my mouth. The herbal flavor of it all, it's just so incredible. It's non-offensive. It's better than non-offensive. It tastes amazing. And right now, I'm doing the show, so it's not the best example, but I've still got a lot of it sublingually under the tongue absorbing. And I just took it myself. You can use code CBD to get up to 40% off on some of these products. I think it's 40% off on this one. I think it's 20 on this one because it's so much cheaper. But you guys want to get Dreamwave PM. You guys want to get Ultra Chill. And if you know someone older that's really looking for that relief, I've got the water-soluble nano CBD from jonescbd.com. That's called Ultra Green. Okay. And what's super cool about Ultra Green, it's got that lectin layer around it. It is over 90% bioavailable in whatever way you decide to take it. So literally, you just squirt that stuff in orange juice, put some of that on your skin, do whatever. It's going to get in there. It's really, really powerful stuff. And it's combined with chlorophyll, all right, which is a super powerful antioxidant, anti-inflammatory. Look at the studies. Everything I've just told you about, all the other ingredients that I've added to the CBD as a base, I highly encourage you. I recommend go to Google Scholar, go to PubMed, go to all these places. You're going to see it's all top rated. It's all the best. And my dad works with white labelers a lot. And my dad has a lot of experience with big manufacturers, good manufacturers, but big manufacturers. And what he's always said is, hey, I just want what's top rated. I just want what works. I want what you sell at Whole Foods, but a little better, basically. I'll just go ahead and sell that as InfoWars Life or now Bigly stuff, right? Just back in the day, InfoWars Life. But what I do is a step beyond that. Because my dad, he understands supplements. He has some knowledge of them, but I have deep formulation experience that's decades long. And when I make something, I make it to be lean, mean, and powerful. This has blue chamomile, melatonin, and full spectrum CBD in it for $37.95. It's not a blend of like 200 different things you can't read or understand. It's not a proprietary whatever. It's not label dressing. This is what it is. And it's tried. It's literally tested. You can view the COA on the site. It's everything I'm telling you it is, and it's more. I'm underselling it, really. This will change your life and make your life a lot better. That's why I always advocate for jonescbd.com. That's why I sell everything I sell. Of course, 50% off.com. If you can't take CBD, if you have, it's too strong for you, maybe, if you have military, police, or like government job, you get drug tested, it's full spectrum. So it might make you pop. Probably won't, but it might make you pop. Get Knockout Sleep Support instead. These are literally 20 teens prices. These are 2010, 2015 prices on a sleep supplement. It's got, let me see if I can do it from memory. I covered my eyes. It's got valerian root, tryptophan, blue chamomile, hops flower, lemon balm, GABA, L-theanine, magnesium. I think there's one more that I think I said hops flower. Melatonin, of course. I forget the master one, melatonin. But I literally, I know this product so well. I've been selling this product for decades to people because it improves people's lives. It changes people's lives. It makes them better. It makes them rest, recover, more efficient. And it really is non-drowsy, non-habit forming, not addictive. It's safe. It's herbal. You could use this for as long as you wanted to use it, and you would not have a negative health effect from using it. And I confidently sit here and I make that claim here today, knowing that everything in here is holistic, has been used for thousands of years, is tried and tested, and is just the correct thing. If you just want the correct sleep blend for sleep, you don't want anything complicated, CBDs maybe a bit strong or drug tested or whatever, Knockout Sleep Support is bona fide. This is a bona fide product. Everyone else out there is, I'll tell you about everything I got. No. I've got Knockout Sleep Support at 50% off.com. I've also got, of course, the classic Brain Force. When this is gone forever. I've got Alpha Power. When that's gone, it's gone forever. I'll probably reformulate these things, but they'll be different products and they won't have all the same ingredients in them. So if you're interested in that, if you want to get a deal, I would go to 50% off.com. Check out the tinctures as well. Check out the mushroom products as well. If you want to check out the mushroom products, I would go to shroomforce.com. I would go here. And I would check out the amazing lineup of 4-to-1 extracts that we have available on shroomforce.com. These are all single ingredient, incredibly high milligram count. The milligram count that's actually used in the studies. Get a 2 months or 1 month supply of lion's mane for $30, under $30 when you subscribe or save or bundle and save. And nobody else is giving you that deal. Everybody else trying to give you a deal, trying to pick your pocket, trying to fleece you. They're not giving you this. They're giving you like 100 milligrams of it combined with like 5 other mushrooms, like also under the doses that actually work. And because they can put the label, they can say, oh, Ultimate Mushroom Coffee has lion's mane, reishi, cordyceps, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. It's not enough to actually do anything. They just sell it because they trust you to be, you know, a complacent consumer. And this is what I realized a lot at the market, right? Because doing the farmers markets and whatnot, people be like, well, I don't know about buying a supplement. I don't know. I already take the mushrooms you sell, but I pay $120, but it's got all 5 of the things you have up here in it. And it's like, well, man, sure it does, but it doesn't really have enough of them in there to matter. And they're just using that as an excuse to put it on the label. They're actually picking your pocket. Why not just try a couple of these things or just one of them and save money and see if you get a better effect? I bet you will. At its core, most of these ingredients are powerful antioxidants and anti-inflammatories. And I'm not even making that health claim. You can just go on PubMed or Google Scholar and look up Rhodolia rosea, lion's mane, cordyceps, ashwagandha, maidenhair, reishi. Look them up for antioxidant properties. You're going to find things for nearly every single one. All right. Like that's just what they do. So when you're taking a mushroom coffee, essentially what you're taking is an attempt to take like, you know, a better sort of anti-inflammatory stack. But if the anti-inflammatory stack doesn't have enough to actually do anything, then why are you taking it? So consider checking out shroomforce.com. I want to do one more plug really quick. 1 second. I'm gonna pull it up. So we got to do this for Go Primal Core because I made the Elemental Drive formula and I really, really like it. And I really want people to know about it. And Tim is always like, it's good for women too. It's good for women too. I made this for the boys. Okay. I made this for the boys. If you want the best male multi-mineral formula, save 30%. That's a great deal. Save an additional 15% when you subscribe and save or give us your email to be on the list. Literally, magnesium bisglycinate, boron citrate, selenium methionine, copper, is copper citrate, vitamin D3, zinc picolinate, literally every single thing you need to boost testosterone, free testosterone, nootropic function, enzymatic processes throughout the body, literally everything you need. When you buy the men's multivitamin at the HEB, oh, it's got the incredible list of blah, blah, blah. Most of it is just non-absorbable garbage that was cheap, and they know they can throw an all-in-one pill together, and people will buy it because they're not educated. This is what you need. This is some of the stuff you're probably the most deficient in, especially the boron and the copper. Let me tell you, because here's the thing. A lot of people, tons of people, they supplement with zinc. And they say zinc is so incredible for like the sexual and libido side effects and the raising the testosterone and blah, blah, blah. Okay. Well, if you're going to megadose zinc in a couple of weeks, you're going to be sick because you're going to run out of copper. If you don't have zinc and copper, both in the ideal ratio and the ideal forms that are absorbable, then you're not going to get a positive effect. You're going to get a negative one. So what I did is I put everything together, an elemental drive. It's a really, really solid building block for anything you're trying to do. This is all non-herbal. This isn't even like adaptogen territory, TCM territory. What this is literally supplement, like vitamin, mineral, like what you need. You need this anyway. You either need this in your diet. Are you getting it in your diet? You need it from the sun. Are you getting it from the sun? Or you need to get it all in one. Keep your bases covered. That's why I recommend the Elemental Drive product from primalcore.com. Of course, everything I've read today is something that I've created. Everything. And who else can say that about the products that they pitch you, the products they sell on the show? Everyone else, they read a code. Tim Dillon, I love Tim Dillon, out there shucking and jiving for a freaking hangover shot. I don't do that. I built this. I know this. I ship this, and I'll ship it out to you. And just like this guy said, your fulfillment center is amazing. My lion's mane is already on its way. You order, we will ship. That is how it works, baby. Hell yeah. And I'm proud. Look, it makes me happy. It makes me happy to do this. It makes me happy to see the products go out the door. Because when I was a little kid growing up at the office, that's what I did. I did pick and pack. I did shipping. I did all of this. Okay. And I'm going to continue to do it as long as the good people out there want to support the show. And it does mean everything when you guys decide to do that. And like I said, the reason why I sell a lot of energy and sleep stuff is because everyone needs help with those two items. And I really do believe whether it's knockout or it's Dreamwave, everyone should be on melatonin, something to help them relax, recover, get a better night's rest. This is a lot healthy. This is infinitely more healthy for you than like drinking at night to go to sleep, or taking cough syrup to go to sleep. This is super important for a lot of people, and it's cheaper. It will save you cash. If you use a half dropper of this, it's a 2-month supply. I just like to give like the megadose example because I want to be honest with people, but like this is a 2-month supply. Everything I sell is a 1 to 2 month supply. And everything is mostly like under $50. So like $25 a month or lower, much lower, like $15 a month if you're using this as a 2-month product. Who's giving you that kind of offer? Nobody. Because they don't care about you like I care about you. I love you. You're me. I'm you. It's the same thing. I'll go ahead and take calls now. Go ahead and get that ready. It takes a little while to set up, so bear with me. It's like a web player. But it's a good service. It's callinstudio.com. But you have to do it in like the right order of operations or else the show won't launch. Okay. Don't be difficult. Don't do it this time. You did it last time. Computer, fix all my wife problems. Computer, pay all my taxes. Computer, give me infinite money in my bank account. Wouldn't that be nice? If you could just talk to the AI, it would just fix things for you. All right. Connect yet.
You are connected as the host.
Okay.
Welcome, host. You are now in the host room and can manage your callers from the call-in studio web interface.
All right, I'm throwing the number up. You guys want to call in? You guys got to call in. I highly recommend that you do call in. Let me throw the banner up for you. Call in 512-675-7144. That's 512-675-7144. You got to call into the New American Journal, 512-675-7144. Please call into the show. I want to hear what you got to say. I want to hear what you're interested in. I want to hear about what you've heard recently about like the reasons why your costs have gone up. Because like that's the thing that I'm connected to domestically, just being an American businessman. I want to hear from other people that are in the same situation as me, that are trying to find a way to make ends meet, trying to find a way to survive. So let's keep it on the economy and let's keep it on the war and maybe other topics as well. Phone line's lighting up. We love it. Absolutely love it. Thank you. I'm going to hide the number for now. I'll read it after we get done. All right. Howdy.
Hey, how you doing, Rex?
Pretty good. Let's make sure. I'm going to do a little test with you. That's okay. Can you guys hear him? You guys hear him real quick? You go ahead and make your point, man. Happy to have you on the show. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. I've been a huge fan of you guys, as well as your dad. I've been listening since 2016. I'm kind of I'm getting into the UNC category. I'm 26, man. I love the work you're doing over here. I love the new show.
Thank you.
I just want to call in and talk about the Dan Bilzerian and Nick Fuentes beef, if that's okay.
No, absolutely. Go ahead.
Awesome. So I was just curious why because I think everyone is coming to the conclusion that both Israel and the current way of doing things with our government isn't working.
Right.
So excuse me, I'm at work right now.
No, you're good.
So I'm just wondering why not support somebody who is running to make a positive change? Understandably, I do get his comments on killing Israelis and all of that, but he was in the military, right? And I don't support the war right now in Iran, but I think we can all agree there are just wars.
Well, here's the thing. I don't want to interrupt, but here's the thing. Like, I want to have Dan Bilzerian on the show. I'd be happy to have him on the show. I supported him against Randy Fine. I still think he's better. I'm saying it's not that I don't support him or that I wouldn't want him to be there versus Fine. Obviously, he's much better than Randy Fine, who's the evil monster pig. But when you say stuff like that, you blow up any hope of building a coalition. And then it's like you're trying to lose, in my opinion. Because like my thing is like I make mistakes all the time, but I try to be relatively careful about what I say. He is a social media figure. He's an internet personality. He knows better. That's my problem with it. It's like, as a public figure, I can say he knows better. So that's my.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. I mean, I don't know. Only thing I would say is, because I do agree with you that I think it's a bit extreme. but he is, I would say, just that he's passionate, and that I think I'd much rather people be out front and honest with what they think,
sure,
even if it is extreme and radical, than, you know, somebody like Trump, right? Who a lot of people thought that was going to be this peace guy, and then he came in as a complete 180. I didn't vote for him after 2020, personally, just because of everything that happened. But with January 6th and all that, but yeah, that's just kind of my 2 cents. I just think if we want to actually, if there is a political solution, which I don't think there is,
I get it.
I think Dan Bilzerian's about our last chance at it. Otherwise, it's going to be a lot more violent than anything he said.
I don't agree with the last.
Thank you so much for-
I don't agree with the last part, and this is the thing about, like, I get that, like, this shit is really depressing, and it feels like there's no light at the end of the tunnel. It truly is always darkest before the dawn, and that's why, like, just looking at it objectively, here's the thing, like I'm like a watcher, right? Like I exist in my own like type and base of energy, which is the InfoWars energy, right? I'm not like an America First Fuentes guy. I'm not like a Bilzerian acolyte. I'm not a part of any of these like Groyper factions or anything like that. I'm honorary. I can be a part of anything and anything I want to be. But when I look at it and I hear what Fuentes says about, like, if you don't hold the Republicans accountable in 2026, then it just shows them they have carte blanche to do whatever they want. They're going to lose to Democrats anyway, and that hands the Democrats all the power. I understand the argument of saying, hey, I'm going to vote Democrat in 2026. I am not doing that. I am not advocating for people to do that. I understand the argument for taking such action, because if you don't take such action, like, what do you just do? Like, you just sit in the cuck chair? And I understand your argument as Dan Bilzerian, being passionate, having these opinions and wanting to run and wanting to be honest and open about everything. It's just like the porridge was too cold and the porridge was too hot type of a thing. Does that make sense? Does that make sense?
100%. That's 100%. And I apologize. I'm a little bit nervous because I've never actually called into a radio station before. Yours is the first one. So
you're good. You're good.
You have to bear with me, man. But I love your passion, man. I mean, I think we're just about the same age. You're 24, right?
Something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
But yeah.
And it's just kind of it's kind of depressing.
Sure.
To hear all of these stories told by our parents. My parents are Gen X, and to hear this America that never existed.
Awesome things were about.
I think
trips to Europe and everything. You hear about what people used to be able to do. Yeah.
Right. I've only been able to go to Europe once, and I consider myself a patriot. I'm a complete patriot of this country, but it was embarrassing going over to Europe and seeing
as a European to see what's been done. 100%.
Right.
That's why I try not to even think about it, because we're just like, we're America. We got our problems over here. They have literally, like, you can just watch the videos of them smirking, like destroying their own nuclear power plants in the 2000s. Like this was always going to happen to them, but you raise the point as to, like, our parents, our grandparents tell us stories about an America that doesn't exist and kind of vote off of bases of, like, trying to preserve that, which is already gone. And then we have to, like, swim through that wake and pay the highest costs ever for housing, electricity, gas, like anything and everything, retail, like, everything just skyrockets and soars for us. And it really is the thing of, like, I'm sure you've heard it. I've heard it about pulling yourself up by your bootstraps.
Yep.
It's disgusting.
How am I supposed to pull myself up by my bootstraps when my bootstraps cost $250,000?
Yes.
Like I make, I mean, I don't know. I know I do better than most, but I barely make $4,000 a month.
Right.
Man, like I can't afford shit.
Right.
Like I have to scrape by. I got a few different side hustles. It's like and I'm not trying to be a pity party and whatnot, but
no, dude.
And that's the thing. I was talking to an older person, and yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Like, the thing is, like, we've all been disenfranchised and raped by our government. Okay, like the government, Trump specifically, he was supposed to come in and do the opposite of everything that he's done now. And you didn't vote for him in 2024, but I did. Right. So I have to sit here now and look at everything going on and be like, well, I was a part of it.
And that's a realization that you have. You start to get disgusted with yourself, start to get angry. We really have to have, as young people, just as Americans in general, we got to have amnesty for ourselves. We got to realize that we've been brainwashed, we've been controlled, we've been attacked. It's all a system arrayed against us. And we didn't consent to any of that. Okay. We didn't consent to the propaganda. You didn't consent to getting an iPad when you're like 12 or 14 years old. You didn't consent to any of these things. They are forced on you by the evil society. And they're forced on you by these monopolies that really should be regulated, right? And oftentimes they'll make the argument of like, oh, well, we live in the capitalist free market, and what happens sucks to suck. Private company, it is what it is. America is basically a communist country that serves Israel and the military industrial complex, big ag and big pharma. Like that's what.
100%.
What do you think?
No, 100%. I mean, if you look, and it's so funny because it's these Jewish technocrats that have their little tendrils in every single thing. And when I say Jewish technocrats, I don't mean every single Jew.
Sure.
But what I do mean is it's a pattern, and
it is a pattern.
You know, for people who have high IQs are able to see patterns, and I will not be one of the people who ignore patterns at my own downfall. Because like I said, this country, I still believe in the founding of this country and what this country stands for. And there's a reason that we have no religion associated with the state. So that's why I cannot get behind anybody who like is behind the Catholic Church, even behind like an evangelical mega pastor or a synagogue or anything like that, because it's so easy to co-opt those movements. So easy, just takes money.
Your nature. I mean, American Protestantism is deranged. And I'm not saying there aren't good pastors, churches, whatever, but like I've been to Houston, I've been to Joel Osteen's place. I know what it is. Okay, I've said Texas, it's huge. All right, like the name it and claim it, the dispensationalist theology, all of it. That is like a uniquely American sickness. And that is a big reason why we have a lot of the problems that we have today. And who buys into that? A lot of the older people. And we kind of know the problem there. But thank you so much for your call. I really appreciate it, man. You got a music recommendation for anyone out there? Anything that you listened to recently that's been good?
Well, thank you so much for having me on, Rex. Like I said, again, I love your show. I would say I absolutely love Amon Amarth. Twilight of the Thunder Gods is an excellent track. I listen to it when I'm in the gym. Like all the time. It's my number one go-to for deadlifts. So, and I'll be buying your some Shroom Force on Friday when I get paid, and I want to try your CBD mix for sleep because I'm tired of using all of these different proprietary brands for sleeping. So, thank you so much. Have a good day, man.
100%. You're really going to love the products when you choose to check them out. And I'll go ahead under the show today. I'll post a 30% off code for Shroom Force. So then I'll stay active until you use it. So I'll go ahead and hook.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the call. We're gonna go next caller on the line, and we got Nimrod Pod. It's been a minute. How are you doing?
Doing great. How are you, sir?
I'm doing phenomenal. Enjoying my morning. What's on your mind?
Awesome. Yeah, you're doing great this morning. I'm happy to be tuning in. I wanted to talk about the America First rift that you've kind of found yourself in the middle of, and I'm sure you're getting sick of talking about it. But the way I see it, go ahead.
I know I'm the worst interrupter. It's not that I see myself in the middle of it. I'm up on a mountain, like Moses or something. Right. I am divorced from it. Like I look at it as like two like different like anthills fighting each other. But go ahead.
No, totally. I think you're pretty spot on. I've been listening all morning. And I kind of see two camps here. Like we have the grassroots candidates and the pundits that were at AF United. And then we have like the actual leaders of the America First movement, like Tucker, Alex, Nick. And I think these two groups are completely separated, and they're very far removed from each other. And the only way we can have grassroots candidates that succeed is if Patriot Media gets behind them and gives them support. But you got to get on the Tucker Carlson and the Alex Jones show. Like guys like you and Harrison have been great about having some of these smaller grassroots candidates on your shows. But we have our leaders like Tucker, Alex, and Nick.
Gotta do more.
Tucker and Nick are just constantly infighting, talking shit on each other, and causing more divide in the anti-Zionist movement, the America First, like just regular person, common sense movement. And we're never going to be able to have a coalition that's strong enough to defeat the uniparty. And I guess my question is, like, who will be the great unifier? Because I think Alex, say whatever you want about all of his positions. I agree with most things he says. I mean, I think he is the podfather in many ways, but he's always been a unifier. I don't think he's going to be running for office anytime soon, but who do you think can actually be the great unifier that can build some sort of America First coalition and take us to the next level?
This is the great question, right? This is the great question of our time. Who is that figure who does step up to take the reins and to embody that zeitgeist that Trump defiled? And, you know, just off the rip on the very basic like playing field of 2028, and then we'll get into beyond. And we'll get into kind of like more grand scale, time scale topics here. This is a very good question for me, Nimrod Pod. I sense kind of the same false aura that Trump had kind of falling on Marjorie Taylor Greene. I have premonitions of it. I kind of sense it. I can kind of feel it through the force. And I like MTG. I like the things she says, I like the things she does. But I've been doing this for so long, and I'm so attuned to like the current of like the ocean of all of this that there's something I don't trust there, but I'd like to talk to her and see what her actual positions are when she's confronted about like money and politics and, you know, the insider trading and all of it. I would say Massey, even though I don't like his illegal immigration perspective or just legal immigration perspective in general. I would say I think he's got more skin in the game because MTG ran away while he stayed to fight. And I think that has that lends you a lot of credibility, a lot of focus. But realistically, all you need is somebody that's good enough to make Marco Rubio and JD Vance and anyone else to have up there look like Jeb Bush. So I think MTG could do that. I think Thomas Massey could do that. Rand Paul doesn't have the spiritual pressure to do that, but he could do it in theory. There's a few different people you could pick. In 2028, we're going to have to come around somebody that is a part of that is more moderate, right? Because we're going to have to build a coalition with the independents and the Democrats, the Obama Democrats that Trump got to vote for him and then he spurned, right? And people want to act like we have this like 1,000-year mandate to lead because of the 2016 and 2024 election. You won Obama voters who didn't like Hillary in 2016, and you won young black and brown men in 2024 who didn't like how the economy was going under Biden. So we're going to have to find somebody who's able to talk to those people on the same original level, but actually have it come from a place of being genuine. I think that's what it's going to take. That being said, I don't like either one of those options. I would prefer it to be somebody I've never heard of. I think if you look at Fuentes, I think if you look at his positioning, I think if you look at his career, if you don't think he's trying to run for political office in 20 years, you're crazy. You're out of your mind. You have no idea what's coming. And I would say it's a generational thing, man. The last boomer will turn 90, I think 2045. And all the stuff that you thought was unacceptable, would keep you out of politics forever, all that's going away. All right, because you're going to have the internet generation that's going to be in charge. You're going to have millennials that are going to be in charge. You're going to have Gen Z. You're going to have Gen Alpha people in 20 years that are in government and 15 years that are in government sooner. So that's kind of the situation. And as far as that goes, that future is completely clouded. I can't see any of it. But what's happening right now, what's leading up into 2028 and then beyond, you're going to see MTG and Thomas Massey do swords dance really intensely. That's my opinion.
No, I think you're spot on with Thomas Massey because he's the one guy that's been given his flowers by both Tucker and Nick. And I think the biggest issue is the rift between Tucker and Nick. And I think Tucker probably has a much bigger tent than Nick. Nick seems to push anyone away that disagrees with the supreme leader.
But he's got,
and I actually think, go ahead.
But I'm not trying to interrupt, but he's got the youth. That was my one point. Locked.
No, exactly. He has it on lock. And Tucker, I've been listening to Tucker every single episode he drops the past like 3 months or whatever. I think he's been spot on, but then he'll just go and completely shit on Nick. Like to a point where it's weird and like he's showing like major emotional immaturity, and that makes me question all the Fed accusations that Nick's made against him. Not that I don't think Nick could be a Fed, but the guy's been canceled almost as horrifically as Alex. I mean, obviously not on the same level, but like very similar type of lawfare against him. So I don't know why he would be a Fed. if he's being targeted by the federal government his whole career.
Right.
So I don't know, but and I kind of was mad at Nick for blowing up the AF United thing,
dude.
But again, you can't really have that sort of coalition without a strong leaders, like some involvement from some of the much bigger pundits. Like you were the biggest pundit there. So it's like,
I was.
How can you expect to have a real movement with just a bunch of candidates that have no money and need support, and then you're just kind of leading the charge on an island?
Dude, me, Jose Vega as well from the Constitution perspective, but me just like talking about the war specifically, the genocide in Gaza and all of it. I was literally the only guy there that was truly America first. Everyone there was America first trademark. I was just America first by my nature, by my blood. So like it was so confusing to me. And then I was like, oh, okay, this is a click thing. And then I realized what it was. But oh, you're making a point there. Go over some of that again. I had something I wanted to say. Forgive me.
Yeah, no. I mean, I think what I'm saying is,
I'm sorry. I apologize. So this is what I was coming to in my mind, and this is why I said like I'm up on a mountain. I'm looking at anthills fighting each other. This is like high school girls. Like that's what it comes down to. I literally think it's a petty thing of like they want more engagement, or they're jealous of the other person, or the person screwed them over, so they want to screw them over harder, and they don't actually care about building the coalition. And that's why, you said I'm on an island. I do feel like I'm on an island, because I feel like people like on Judge Knapp, Glenn Decent, Dialogue Works, channels like that, the old heads, we're the only ones that just genuinely apolitical. I just want it to stop. I just want to return to America, not some grand patriarchal system that we're going to implement with the iron fist, or not the trans radical Antifa thing or whatever. I just want to live in America. I just want to go to a gas station and know that my tax dollars when I buy a Monster energy drink are not going to a Javelin missile to kill little kids. That's all I want. That's all we want. And that is the political position. It is age limit. It is term limit. It is divestment from Israel, divestment from Ukraine. That's what I support. That's what I stand for. That's what I will fight on death to protect. And when I see people that, like a Tucker, like a Nick at a high level, who instead of focusing on that, prioritizing on that, they should be begging each other for unity every single show. Just like I do every single show, I beg everyone for unity. They should all come together. And the fan base, and that's what I said, not the listeners, the fan base of people that coalesce around all that, they're just engaging in the drama politic because it's fun and it's primal and they understand it. It doesn't take any intelligence to understand that two people don't like each other. What takes intelligence is understanding why. And there is no reason why. We all need to be united. Your thoughts in closing?
No, I mean, you're spot on. That is exact, because they need unity, because whoever gets in power next is going to destroy all these America First people we just mentioned.
Sure.
Including yourself and your father and Tucker and Nick. Because, and listen, I pretty much just watch news all day, every single day. I get home from work and I keep watching news. But I used to love, watching comedy and movies and stuff. So last night, for the first time in a long time, I decided to tune into the roast of Kevin Hart. Because obviously the roast of Tom Brady last year was kind of like a huge shift in American culture and the zeitgeist. And I tuned in, and I guess I've been paying way too much attention to Trump and the MAGA-tards and the megas, that I forgot how much like Hollywood elites and the Democrats hate us.
Right.
Like I watched the whole thing and I was sick to my stomach, and I almost felt like an idiot for not paying any attention to the Democrats since Trump got into office.
Right.
Like we had this Chelsea Handler broad. She goes in there, she roasts the entire dais at the roast, specifically targeting Shane Gillis and Tony Hinchcliffe, slamming them as pedophiles, rapists, and white supremacists. But meanwhile, she dined with Jeffrey Epstein, Woody Allen, and Prince Andrew at Epstein's mansion, and she like brags about it openly. But those were all of her disses, were that we're all white supremacists and we're evil. And then this Cheryl Underwood broad, who used to be a host on The Talk, this like something like, it's kind of like The View, one of those boomer old white lady shows.
Squawk.
And she threatened to kill Shane and Tony. She said, "You're in Inglewood. If you even step outside, good luck getting home," talking like that, because Shane used the word wigger, making a hilarious joke. And I'm like, okay, now the megas, like the Mark Levins of the world, they're allowing these people to win back the culture under the guise of like anti-Semitism. We're going to get back to cancel culture. And then whoever uniparty scumbag X is going to be our next president. And then this whole like free speech movement that we built is going away and we're all going to prison. It's kind of like the vibes I got from this roast. I know it's a microcosm.
Totally black-pilled, because here's the thing. Like, no one has more reason to be black-pilled than me on all of this, right? Like you just listed off, like my dad has publicly said many, many times, because of like evil, frivolous, like lawfare, they're probably going to try to put us in jail. Like, if they get back in power, Democrats. And I think that's true. Like they ran the lawfare, the ops against us, all of it, right? Blumenthal, we can get into it. But this is why InfoWars and the free speech story and just the saga of all of it is so important for people to understand. And that's why I would tell you, after you're done with the broadcaster or whatever, maybe not today, but, just pick a classic broadcast you like, one of the shows I've done, maybe with a guest that you really enjoyed, made really poignant points. Anthony Aguilar was great. Send that to somebody and say, hey, this guy isn't left, right. This guy isn't even center. This guy is just out of it. This guy's an American, and he just wants Americans to wake up. And we get so intensely negative because we think about like the 20 or 30% of the American population, whatever. Let me look up the actual percentage of it really quick. American. Yeah, 65.3% of 73% of the voting population. So around like half of people voted. All right. So what happens when we start reaching people that have never voted, never thought about politics because they thought it didn't apply to them? My mission is to show you that, hey, there's nowhere you can run. There's nowhere you can hide. Politics, culture, societal events, geopolitics, it affects you in your life. And we have the greatest system ever devised to take care of it. It's called the Constitution. It's called the Bill of Rights. It's called it's called Common Sense by Thomas Paine. Everything the founding fathers said, we have this beautiful system that's been set up. And on one side of the fence, that because this beautiful system was set up, we have to build a new authoritarian system that's kind of like it, but not really. And we work for another country. And the people on the other side tell you that the people that wrote that Constitution and Bill of Rights were white, so they're bad. We have to burn down the country and have the Antifa. So how about no? How about you go to the gas station and get what you want and know that it's not going to a foreign war? How about you go to the gas pump and actually be able to afford to drive down the street, go to work? How about we base things off of being neutral, being basic, being American? You don't have to have some tight difference. I'm just an American, period. Full stop. Fuck the Republicans, I spit on them. Fuck the Democrats, I spit on them. Fuck Trump, fuck Biden, fuck any and every one of these people that's disenfranchised us. I stand for the housewife in Galveston, Texas. I stand for the woodworker up there in Connecticut. I stand for the person up in Oklahoma farming. I stand for the person in Texas ranching. I stand for the person in California trying to drive for Uber, trying to drive for Lyft. That's who I do my show for, So I think we can break this, man. And I don't think it has to be a thing as to where, like, there's no hope. I think that there is hope. We just got to reach enough people. Because, like, we have a solution.
Exactly.
So.
Yep. God bless you, sir. Appreciate you having me on.
Thank you so much. Those were very intense calls. We got very good callers always on the show. New Groyper's calling in. I want to take your call. Okay. All right. 2 people, 2 calls. We're keeping it at 10 minutes. I'm going to go to New Groyper first. Just check in with New Groyper.
What's going on, man?
What's up, man? How are you doing?
Hey, hang it in there. Hang it in there.
We're all trying our best.
Yep. Yep. I'm currently planning new career path.
Yeah.
Unforeseen, so yeah, that goes.
Yeah. It sucks.
Yeah.
Hey, Trump told us jobs are back, the economy's great, no war. What's going on?
Yeah, no, definitely not. Yeah, no, it's not happening. No, here's the thing that people are thinking about. I'll just hit on 2 things briefly. One, everybody's so focused on the political situation within the next 2 years. It's like, guys, I don't think people realize that if gas continues to go any further, everything shuts down and it's over. Like, there is no election because there's famine. Right. It's like all these 18-wheelers who need diesel, when it starts hitting $6 a gallon, $7 a gallon.
Truck ain't gonna go.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
No, they can't afford it. And here's the thing too: the rates will go up, and then in turn, people will stop shipping things, and then it'll be a nightmare. And then too, talking about this unification of America first, this banner, right? The whole thing is like with Nick, I would say Nick was probably one of the first ones to, first of all, your dad was the forerunner here. But like when it comes to like the America First movement as we know it, that was really kind of Nick's, laying a lot of that foundation work. And the thing that what people don't understand when they're saying we just need to get along is there are ideological differences between even Tucker and Nick. Like there is intellectual distinctions there. Like Tucker says a lot of things that are close, but then it's like at the very end he'll make a qualifying statement, and it's like, oh, I'm for this multicultural meritocracy type stuff, or some of the different other things, and it's like the unity is not going to be there because there is an intellectual difference in positions there, and
That's I think that's perfect and good, and perfect being the enemy of the good. Don't you think they could all come together on the platform of divestment from Israel and all support the same thing?
I would say this. It would depend on what, because everybody's going to want to go in a certain direction, right? And what is the end goal of, let's say, Tucker's version versus Nick's version? The end goals ideologically of those two are going in different directions. I mean, they may converge paths for a moment, but the second, like when we start breaking down the finer points, their philosophies are vastly different. And the problem with Tucker, and I've had this problem with him, he's a gatekeeper. Like, I mean, he's like, he spent so much time telling people that, so-and-so is a Fed, so this is this, and this is this. And it's like, Tucker, your dad worked for the CIA, brother. It's like, take it easy.
What this is making me think of, am I going to have to write the Constitution? Am I going to have to write the new Bill of Rights or whatever? Do I really have to be the guy that does it? Because I can. If I,
yeah.
I guess I'll put together the political platform, the movement. And I'll just say the movement, whatever, and it'll be inarguable, and I'll put it forward. It's all petty, man, and it's like this guy's a Fed, that guy's a Fed, whatever. The biggest difference to people being Feds is people not working together and people being subversive, and I'm really pissed off at what I'm seeing at all angles. Now, I know Nick didn't have any involvement with that. 1 second. Excuse me. I know that Nick didn't have any involvement with setting up that America First event. And now, having done that America First United event, I definitely should preface it with saying that. But at the same time, it's not like, in my mind, when I went to that event, I didn't go to that event because America First, Nick Fuentes. I went there because America First means America First to me, right? I think this whole cult of personality, yes, that's his show. Yes, he did that for a decade plus. You can never take that away from him. That's his platform. That's his movement. But it's inside of the grander movement of America First, and he doesn't own that. And I was at the cult of personality, and he hates it too. He doesn't like it either. He's also disgusted by it. And I was sitting there, and he was kind of like, the expression Fuentes had is like, disavow, or like whatever he did. I was sitting there, I was like chuckling. I was like, this is what it is. Like, see, it was like getting to be inside a movie. It's the best way I could put it.
Like a really bad one. And you're just like, okay, guys, come on out with the cameras. We're serious here.
I was being loud from the crowd. I was like seal clapping for people, going boo for other people. I was having fun. Yeah, it's Minecraft creative. I just showed up and I just did what I wanted to do. So.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I see. So I'm sure you've noticed. I've been kind of out of the loop as of late. I've just been getting by, so I haven't been keeping up with politics as much.
Right.
But seeing what I'm seeing, I'm like, some of these people, like Dan Bilzerian, like, dude, who are you? You're coming with the most. Huh?
It's bizarre because I was supportive until he just crashed out.
Oh, well, yeah, and it's like the timing of it. It's like Amy Dangerfield crashing out on Nick at the same. Like, it's weird how it's like every time it's like 15 people and they're all coming after Nick at the same time. And it just kind of goes, it's a political thing. It's like, Dan, you're running, you're like, exterminate all Jews. Like, do you all, like,
Yeah.
Put everything aside.
No, like,
do you really think you're going to win?
My political platform, I'm beating Randy Fine, the evil anti-Semite who wants to starve children. What's my position? Kill Israelis. Like, you're not.
Yeah, kill all. It's like you're done. Like it's legitimately like it's low IQ anti-Semitism.
Sure.
And there has to, and that's the distinction. It's like, would eradicating all Jews wholesale solve the problem? No, it would create more problems. That's not what's being advocated for. But it's like, dude, you're running for office and you're talking about committing a genocide. The last time I checked, nobody likes genocides. It doesn't poll well.
No, absolutely. That's a great point. And it really is a great point. And that's where, like, I look at it. I'm not here to cast aspersions to anybody. I've talked to the Quartering. I've talked to Andrew Wilson. I'd love to talk to Dan Bilzerian. Hash some of these things out. But I'm not even referencing like this is like the weird gossip things. Like, I was at his house and we did this thing. He said he wanted to do this to this person. I don't know if I believe any hearsay or whatever. Like, even if it comes,
yeah, sure.
I don't buy into any of that. But when you make the political platform of like extermination in like opposition to somebody else who's like him and Randy Fine, I know technically they don't, but it's kind of the same message, you know? So like, where's the difference?
Oh, it is. 2 sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
This is like, if you go look around December, Nick talked about like people wearing the skin suits of the movement, right? And so what they do is they take up similar points for a season, and then they portray the most extreme, non-standard, deviations of ideologies within the movement itself to discredit the movement. It's like how else would the movement against Jewish power in America be undermined? Well, if people started championing, hey, you know what? Let's just kill them all. Like that's a good way to undermine the legitimacy of the movement itself.
Yeah. It's faking gay. And the thing is like, I've been doing this all my life. You can't, and people come, it's funny on the internet. People go, young man, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, I've been doing this at least twice as long as you have. Been doing this for like 17 years. like when I see behavior like that, it's like you're talking about, you do the signaling is, yes, I'm America first. Yes, I'm with you. I'm in your party. And then you do like the most extreme deviation, the thing that people criticize that group for when it's not true. You're a Judas code. That's what that is.
Oh no, you're subversive element. And here's what I would like to see. If we're ever in power, I want to see where these people are all getting this money from to do these coordinated campaigns together. Because I know, like Elijah Safer said, somebody came to him to try to discredit Nick in the last round. It's like there is a coordinated effort. And my thing is,
go ahead.
Is if there's government money going towards conducting, psychological operations on the American people in that manner, that has to be stopped. And not only that, whoever sanctioned that has to go to prison.
I think it's that
for a very long time.
I agree. Anyone running psychological warfare operations against the American public, trying to do subversive activity, that's evil. We don't like that. But my thing is, I look at all this and it pisses me off because I thought all these people were better than this. And I guess I guess they're just clowns. And like the thing is, for me, I think of myself as a bit of a clown. I'm a bit goofy. I'm silly. I've made a lot of mistakes. I'm not the best person, but like I care about this. I really passionately care about this. I wouldn't be in the studio doing a 3-hour-a-day show if I didn't care about this. And for some of these people, it's just a costume, and that's a big problem.
It's a grift, and that's what Trump was like. That's what they're just taking after Trump. Because Trump never took it seriously. I mean, look at Trump's voting record. The dude was a Democrat from the 90s.
I have to go to the next caller. I agree. Call in tomorrow. The next.
Yeah, man.
Great. Thank you, New Groiper. I appreciate it.
And yeah, man. Sounds good. We'll see, man.
See ya. That's the thing. It is subversion. And he's right to call it that. And like, that's the word that I use as well. It's destroying a movement internally. And it's not even your movement. And the movement is not even like, it shouldn't be a movement. It should just be America. And we should just be America first. That's my opinion. Going to take the last call here. Howdy. Got to keep it short. Thank you so much for calling into the show.
How's it going, Rex? I just been a while since I talked to you. I talked to you on American Journal. I just wanted to bring up, I've seen you guys haven't really talked about it, but Mike Braun in Indiana just gave $15 million to Israel to start doing more tech Israeli tech just solely in Indiana. And I just want to point out the crazy Jewish supremacy that is going on in America, and I'm against all forms of it. I totally agree with we need to unite as American first and really take this country back. So I just wanted to bring that up. I love your show. I'm a consumer of Shroom Force and Methyl Drive and Power Plant. Just loving what you're doing.
Awesome, man. That makes me so happy. Really thankful that you've supported the show and you supported my dad's show as well. Like, that's the thing is like the supplements, like they're high quality. And when you take them, like you feel good, I imagine, right?
I totally agree.
Yeah. So what you're talking about, they want to build these data centers around us. The thing to me is like you see the total sellout of our nation because even the people that have purported to be like left wing and can care about the environment, they're all on the Zionist payroll. They're all paying for the wars, paying for these data centers to be built or getting paid to allow them to be built. It's a huge problem. I totally agree.
Yeah, and it's just sad, that you got these, people that choose to be hippies now. Like, oh, we need them. Like, you're building like our prison,
Yes. No, absolutely. The data centers for three things. It's for mass surveillance. It's for training new entities in lower dimensions to come up to our dimensions, also known as demons. And it's for, just complete and total cloud ownership of everyone all the time, total spot surveillance state. That's what it's all for. So.
Yeah, and I totally agree. And that your dad recommended Transcendence the other day on InfoWars, well, Alex Jones Network. And, I watched it and I'm like, man, that is totally what they're trying to do, to where, they're going to integrate somebody like a Sam Altman or a Peter Thiel, and then we're all done for, and I just, I'm so thankful for you guys. I love Anthony Grafaro. I was so happy when you put him on to the New American Journal. I'm happy to see where you are taking this, and I really am thankful for what you and Tim and Harrison Smith all do, and I love how you guys are integrating Owen Schroyer back into it. Just shows that like we can have a difference of opinion, but we all want the same thing, a freedom for our future. So I just
that's what I'm
applaud you so much.
Thank you, dude. I love you too, man, and thank you so much for all the support. Thank you for everything. I'm realizing I got to be the guy, and I'm looking around me, and I'm looking at all these people I've watched, I've looked up to, that I've known personally, and I go, man. I guess it's got to be me. I guess I'm the person that's got to say these things and lay these things out to the American people because nobody else is going to do it. So when we do these shows, we build this culture, we build this community, we build this completely outside of any sort of cult of personality or any hero worship. I mean, that's why I always say, look at me. I'm a lowly, wicked sinner. That's all I am. But I care about my country and I hate death. And that's the political platform.
I'm thankful for the glue that you are.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you so much for your call. Really appreciate it.
No problem.
What an amazing.
God bless, man. Keep doing what.
Thank you. You're still online. God bless you too, man. And I got it underneath the show today, like on X. I'm going to put a discount code for Shroom Force and CBD. So the next time you get some, you can get some at a better price. Thank you so much for your call. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye.
Wow. Always got the best callers, always got the best guests, always got the best people because we do the best show. What's that show called? Gray Area, New American Journal, morning, evening. It's the same thing. I'm live for you all the time. More than a day out of the week, I am live streaming for the people that want to see me, want to hear me, want to hang out with me, want to hang out with everybody together that we got in the community. And I just want to thank everyone that called in. Again, this is going to be a call-in show. What's hard with the call-in show is frequency of getting people through because like we had people making really great points today. And even like, especially last guy, I want to talk to him about the data centers. I had it in the title of the show, but I failed to get around to it because it's crazy. I get in here. I'm like, man, how am I going to fill 3 hours? And then I'm at 3 hours and I got like a lot more I want to say and a lot more I want to hear. And that's why I go live every day. So if I didn't get to you, if you wanted to call in, but you weren't able to, simply call in at another time during the week. The third hour is going to be the call-in portion of the show. The second hour will be for if we bring a guest on, and the first hour will be my monologue. Thank you so much. And I want to tell you guys, my dad's live in 2 minutes, so I want you to go over to Alex Jones Network. I want you to watch him. But here's the thing. We just laid down the law, and we got a guy on the phone who's taking the Shroom Force products. You can go to shroomforce.com and check out the highest quality 4-to-1 mushroom, functional mushroom, adaptogen extracts. Look it up on PubMed, Google Scholar, ChatGPT. See what these things do to you and your body, how they help you, how they empower your mind and body, how they empower you to work smarter, work harder, work faster, feel better, recover, anything and everything. Look up the benefits on shroomforce.com. I've got the bundles as well. Really phenomenal deals. You're not going to find a deal like this anywhere else. 2-month supply of lion's mane and cordyceps for $60. In this economy, that's insane. That's a 20 teens price. You want to talk about 20 teens prices? I got 50% off.com. And if you guys are listening, you're about to join the Alex Jones show, you're familiar with this product. This product was an InfoWars Life product for a decade plus. This product helped keep the lights on at InfoWars, helped us build new studios, just in the same way, the same spirit. It's helping me do the same thing, building my media platform, helping my business, my company, moving forward, succeeding. Knockout sleep support, $29.95. I'm going to do it blindfolded again. Valerian root, melatonin, L-tryptophan, hops flower extract, lemon balm, German CO2 extracted blue chamomile, GABA, L-theanine, magnesium. Where else are you going to get all those things separately wrapped up into one big, beautiful, I won't say it like that. Shame on me. Big, beautiful supplement, ultimate knockout sleep support. That's $29. Nobody else is going to give you that. Nobody. And if you're taking melatonin and magnesium at the HEB or at the Publix or at the wherever you buy it from, wherever you get your supplements, the compounding pharmacy, whatever, you're going to get it at a better price here. And it's got all the other ingredients. So I know the market. I say that confidently. I've got all sorts of other stuff. Like I show up here, save money, get 3 of them, save like $30, $20 on it. That's a really good deal. Get oral care products as well. Like I said, Dr. Jones Naturals, I was doing their fulfillment. I upgraded my fulfillment capability so I could do it for them. They left me cold out in the rain. So if you're buying things from DJN, you should buy them from me instead, because they abandoned me and I'm a Jones and they're not a Jones, and it got sold. So you should buy products from 50% off instead of Dr. Jones Naturals. And hey, people at DJN, if you didn't want me to say that, you should have kept paying me. You should have had me do your fulfillment. But because it's $2 cheaper or whatever, you're going to go ahead and move to ship offers. Okay. All right. All right. But I'm going to plug my own products, and I'm going to tell people to go to my stores, to go to 50%off.com, to go to jonescbd.com, and to go to shroomforce.com and go primalcore.com and find an alternative to what you're selling. Because if you want to support a Jones, if you want to support the Jones family, if you want to support our mission, our legacy, I want you to go to one of these stores and see if there's a product that you need. Because I'm willing to bet there is. And I'm willing to bet when you look at the prices, when you look at the wide spectrum, what's available in the catalog, you're going to be quite shocked. You'll be like, man, I should have been buying this. I should have been taking this a long time ago, especially at this price. So I've got it all available for you on all these various stores. We've got bundles. We've got anything and everything you need. Nano CBD, herbal compounds, mineral blends, anything and everything. Like I said, toothpaste. This is the best. So I'll go ahead and do the rundown on this again really quick. This is everything you need to boost testosterone, free testosterone, nootropic support, anti-anxiety support, recovery support, cortisol support, anything and everything you can imagine. Elemental Drive, magnesium bisglycinate, vitamin D3, copper, selenium, zinc, literally everything you need, magnesium, everything you need. It's got it right there. And it's not some shotgun blend with a bunch of stuff that's not absorbable. Magnesium bisglycinate, for example, boron citrate, copper citrate, the correct forms for absorption. This is all well-known stuff, of course. And I got to say, like, look at that. Look at that. It's $27, get an additional 15% off. I think that gets it down to like $23, $24. Zinc picolinate, boron citrate, selenium methionine, magnesium glycinate, copper citrate, vitamin D3, 5,000 IU. If you're not getting enough sunlight, if you're not getting enough of these things in your diet, why not just get it from me for the same price as DoorDashing a single meal from Burger King? That's how bad the economy is. You just get it from me. Get the actual things you need from the source. Support American small business. I manufacture all of these products myself. I ship all of these products myself. Of course, I have employees. I have a warehouse. I have all this stuff. But this is nose to tail me. This is not me selling you something that someone else made. I was like, oh, you have that? I'm just going to buy it and sell it to people. No, I do not do that. I give you the highest quality things that I formulated personally myself because I love them, and it is an absolute honor to sell them. So without further ado,
I think that's been a really good show. I want you guys to tune into Alex Jones Network. I want you guys to retweet that. I want you guys to comment under there, give him the engagement, give him the support that he needs. This is a man that had his entire company stolen from him illegally, had his legs chopped off. They brag about it in court. They want him to be deplatformed. They want him not to be a person. They want me not to be a person because they want to treat you the same exact way. So all I'm asking you to do, beyond the plugging, beyond any of it, 50percentoff.com, jonescbd.com, shroomforce.com, goprimalcore.com, I want you to go to AJN Live or Real Alex Jones, but go to AJN Live because we need to get those numbers up. Go to AJN Live and retweet that stream, comment under that stream, send that to people. That's always what we told people. That was our secret weapon. All these people on TV reading codes or doing ads for products they don't know or understand. Our real strength is being able to tell the viewer outside of anything, you want to support the show, share it. It's all free to air. Anything and everything I've ever created in the show broadcasting format where I'm in the studio talking to you is 100% free to air. And you have the right to play it. You have the right to make edits of it. You have the right to make remixes of it. You have the right to clip it, make money off it yourself. It's a 360 win for anybody and everybody involved. That's what we do here. And that's why they fear us. That's why we're so different from everybody else. So thank you so much for being here. Join AJN Live, join Real Alex Jones. Peace out.